my beautiful and lovely gemstones. Welcome to Wednesday night live intuitive oracle reading with myself, Ghost Dragons, and you guys. So thank you all for coming. I started a little bit early, just because it was about time we started early, not late, I guess. Let me just fix my mirror there, my camera. And so good to see you all. Oh, Smoochy, I missed you too. I saw that comment. You're like, are you okay? I'm like, oh my God, why wouldn't I be okay? I started having to ask myself, am I okay? Yes, good. All right. I have a new deck tonight, the Earthly Souls and Spirit Moon Oracle, the one I was trying to have by last week, but we got it by this week. And it's pretty awesome. Oh, thank you, Miss Lotus Girl. It's actually a pajama set, and it comes with really cute shorts, like the black one I wore with the green bats. But I'm like, I'm sleeping by myself. Who am I wearing this for? So, yeah, thank you. It is Valentine's Day festive, I suppose you could say. Nothing else really. I think the only announcement I wanted to make was that if you do a one-on-one call with me, I usually check in about a week later before I send out your stuff. So if you've done a one-on-one with me lately and I've reached out to you, usually it'll be via text. Make sure you get back to me because I can't send your stuff out without first checking in on you and making sure the situation's still the same, so I don't send you out stuff that you don't need. The energy we're working with tonight is chocolate calcite and lion skin stone. This is the chocolate. It's so pretty. And there's the lion skin. I love these two. Put them together. And what do you got? Bibbidi bobbidi boo. I'm so clever. I also have the larvacite necklace and, of course, my lapis ring. And I've got quartz in the ear. Got a lot of crystal energy going on here. I got a little vial of the black witch salt I'm wearing as well. So with all that being said, let's just get started, guys. Tomorrow night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, it's going to be myself, Ghostdragonzw, and Lara, Miss Paranormal Pixie. But if any of you guys want to come on and join the discussion with us live there, you can do it like we do it, audio and video. Or if you're not comfortable showing your face, you can always just come on and do it for audio. You can do it for an hour or for the whole thing. We would love to have you. Email me at GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. Don't forget Super Chats, PayPal, and Cash App donations. Always appreciated. And with all that being said, I'm going to say hi to everybody. Lotus Girl first. I hope everything is going well with you. I haven't reached out because it's been crazy for me, but also because I know that it has been crazy for you. But okay, let's post that up there so everyone knows. Hubby is 69. For those that don't know, had major surgery last week and declining health with lifelong heart problems. Have almost had to call 911 3 different times since last week. And that is kind of why I'm trying to allow you to focus. So don't think it's me not being there for you. If you need me, you know you can always reach out. Love, light, and prayers to Lotus and her family, please. And to all you guys, always. Salvatore, hi. Salvatore also said something. I didn't see what Salvatore said. I just kind of saw Lotus Girl. Oh, you lost. I guess I just lost my only brother on the 14th. I'm so sorry about that. Salvador, you seem to be handling it well, just from being on here and being super positive, keeping your energy up. So I always like to see that because I know it's really hard, especially when you don't deal with this type of thing all the time. It can be quite a shock and really kind of bring us down. Andrew and Gnomes. Eris, hi. Josephine Van Dam, Monica, Ann Palmer, hello. I don't know if I'm missing anyone. Ralph and Cassie Francis, ready for some good news this week? I hope it's always good news for you guys. Smoochy, smoochy. And Edna, hello. Nut slap. No, it's not the first time I'm early. Might be the first time in a while, though. I'm running on my own schedule here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I just highlighted everything. All right, let's bring him in. The man of the hour.
Okay. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. I feel like a confusing energy right now. So I'm hoping that we can pull out of that, which
Well,
we always do in the
with
first few minutes.
stations here and internet, so hopefully it just
I
went out.
haven't had the Wi-Fi thing come up yet on my end, which is awesome because even when it
Yeah,
comes up for a
so far
second,
so
I
good for
start.
me.
What?
I said so far so good for me too.
Yeah, even when it just pops up for a second, it starts like I start like going. I noticed that in the personals that I've been doing, the
Well,
face to face. So, all
well,
right,
it's really
Lotus.
weird. Well, I'm sorry. It's really weird that for hotel internet, I've actually had a good connection, but Giles down the hall has had a lousy connection.
That is weird. Maybe he's
Uh,
using it more than you though.
Probably, though. We've been watching movies on mine, so you got to remember I have my PC and it's
Yeah,
got a
that's true.
booster on it too, so that might
So
be
that's why
why.
I think you have the
Yeah.
booster. Is Lotus Girl first?
Yes, she is,
All
and
right,
then Salvador.
let's jump on in.
Okay, sorry for interrupting you,
You
but
didn't
not
interrupt
really.
me.
I'm trying. I'm trying to perk up.
Just do it.
Well, I
Or
didn't get up to do booty dance during the song during the beginning, so
that might be what's throwing me off.
okay. Now I'll shut up.
All right, Lotus Girl, let's do this. Prosperity. And this is the new deck, the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle. Abundance, self-esteem, and attracts. Richard Elmore, darling Deb, hi. You guys always miss the booty dance because he does it behind the scenes when I'm trying to like get ready to say hello to everybody. So then I start laughing. That's why half the time when I come onto the screen, I'm always like trying not to laugh or like have a weird face on because I'm watching him in the background and you guys can't see him. Lotus Girl, prosperity comes in all forms. Evaluate yourself, awaken from within, come to your truth, and realize all that you have. Step outside of the materialistic world and open your eyes to the different faces of prosperity. Living a lifestyle in a positive state of mind will lead you on a path to peace and to happiness. Celebrate your accomplishments and what you already have. This will be humbling, yet will bring contentment and gratification. Give back unselfishly. Help and serve others by volunteering, donating, or offering a kind exchange of words. Wealth is not about having numerous material possessions. Instead, it's like a treasure chest of grand visions, dreams, love, joy, and gratitude. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. Intention, write down your wishes or keep a vision dream board of positivity. Build your self-esteem and sense of worth. Abundance will come to you in all forms. I don't think this is you. Hi, Vixen Doe, looking at the world through a materialistic lens. What I am getting here is energetic prosperity, where you're just feeling, and you've been feeling this way for a really long time. And I see no matter how hard you try to pull out of it, like so many of us, it feels sometimes like it's impossible because every time we feel like we've gone over one hill, another mountain appears that we have to cross. And it's like boom, 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 right? The energy should be shifting really soon, guys. We got maybe another month, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. But I feel like this is energetic prosperity, right? Make sure you're doing things. I know you have so much else to do and there's not enough hours in the day, but the main message I'm getting from this card for you for this week, Lotus, is to make sure you're taking at least 12 to 15 minutes a day for yourself. It doesn't matter if you go and you want to sit in the bathroom and stare at the wall. Take that you time where nobody else's energy is touching yours. And, you know, because I don't know why this message is channeling in, but it is. So you may need to hear this. When we cross over and we go to the other side and we're fully over there, we could have been celebrities. We could have been the most powerful or rich man or woman in the world. But what matters to us and how our soul bases our life value on, like how valuable our life was, it's never in a material sense or what we did for a living. It's always because we could then see how we either positively or negatively affected every single person we ever came into contact with. And we then gauge that and judge ourselves by how positively we affected other people, how beautifully we treated them, how kind we were to them. And you may be losing sight of that to treat yourself in these ways because you're so focused on doing it for everyone else. Things like worrying about, giving something back to me for your monthly reading. I appreciate that I was on your mind, but for me, I did kind of giggle to myself because I'm like, this chick, like, make sure that you do everything you can to also focus on you and how you're feeling, because if your energy shuts down or becomes too overwhelmed, you're going to be completely useless to everyone else. And plus you have physical health problems as well. Take 12 to 15 minutes this week and all the time, but start this week if you're not already doing it, to really just take that time in quietude, solitude, and just let your mind go, not to the point of overwhelm and thinking about terrible things, but let your mind go for 12 straight minutes of thinking about, what you would do if you had $1 million, or what you would do if you had the perfect life, your perfect life situation, and let yourself experience those feelings. And that goes for everybody. Eris, and that's amazing, Lotus. Keep it up then. Then this could be the universe also acknowledging that you've been doing that and telling you, come on, keep it going, keep it going. It's working. Don't give up. Eris, honey?
Actually, it's Salvador.
Salvador. That's why I ask.
That's all right. I was going to say it, but you just beat me to it.
Salvador?
Yep, sir.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just saying, sir, to Salvador.
Oh my gosh. Shelly, hi. I don't even know if I said that. Salvador, we're going to use the Halloween Oracle. All of our blessings and rewards and abundance should start spilling in the next, like I said, month or so, if we've been doing the work. I would say, obviously, the people in Aquarius now, but coming into Pisces season as well. For Pisces, it's going to be, when it's our birthday month, coming up near our birthday, it usually is a time that a lot of tarot readers will say it's a time of rebirth. That's not necessarily true. That doesn't mean every single Aquarius the world over is going to have a rebirth. Those of us who have been putting, those of us who have been putting the work in all year, when you come to the time of your birthday, should really be a rebirth for you in some aspect or area of your life, always, if you've been working toward that all year. Now, the end of February, the beginning / middle of March, just collectively should be a shift in energy. But as we saw last year, it's not always guaranteed. So we have to keep up the light working, guys. We have to keep it up for ourselves and for those around us. Hi, Joe Store. Salvador, you got the underworld where all things pause and begin again. I was just talking about the rebirth. Salvador, the idea of an underworld, a whole realm that we go to after we die, is a concept that crosses a huge variety of cultures and eras. The Sumerians, the Turkish, the Incas, the Greeks, through to the Siberians, the Maori, and the Khmers all had a distinct word for the underworld. What is different, though, is how those cultures treat this concept, whether the underworld is seen as a place of rest and rejuvenation or horror and punishment. The Christian hell is a place of darkness, fire, and brimstone. The Egyptian underworld is one of judgment, peace, and renewal. In Maori culture, it is an in-between place of waiting, wisdom, and transition. Many myths that mention the underworld often involve the concept of a place of waiting and of trials and eventual judgment. It can also be a place of joy and peace. Should the underworld card be present in your reading, you are being asked to consider exactly what you have to do to transform your life into something you find easier or more authentic to you. This may involve changing course. It may involve trials and tests. Keep moving. While things may fall away and your life may appear bare for a time, this is always temporary. Space is being made into which you can create the new. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by anything, situations, relationships, business arrangements, whatever it may be in your life right now, the universe is saying it's okay to let some things fall away. It's okay to walk away from stuck, stale, stagnant, dead, done, over with situations, relationships, people, stepping into your power and understanding that people and again, situations and relationships that are no longer serving you. It's like you were there to learn a lesson and move on. A lot of the time we as light workers have a hard time doing that because we form these immediate attachments, right, to other people's energy for better or for worse. I feel like there are several things in your life right now, whether it be people or, you know, work relationship, romantic relationship, whatever it may be, Salvador, that you're kind of holding on to for dear life. And I don't even think that you necessarily realize that you're doing this. I feel like it's just like you feel like you're fighting through something for the betterment of it. So like you're sticking by, you know, this is just an example, your partner who, you know, they may be a narcissist and they may treat you poorly, but that time's going to pass. This too shall pass. And you're being a loyal and faithful partner and subject and sticking by them. You're not going to abandon them. These are the types of people we must abandon if we love ourselves more. And the universe is giving you permission to move on from a certain or several situations and people in your life that are just, the juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore. It's not doing anything for you. You're not advancing in any way. And most of the time it makes you feel bad about yourself. You don't always have to be the loyal, faithful subject if the energy of whatever or whoever the other thing is isn't giving you that back, you know, considerably over a period of time. It's okay to be reborn, to allow yourself to come into a new phase of your life. It's like you're holding on so desperately to something or someone that is just not meant for you anymore. You've learned the lessons of it. It's time to move on. And it may be pretty scary, right? Because say this is a job and you're like, well, Gemma, I can't just quit my job. I don't get another one lined up, and take the leap of faith. Trust in the universe that it is always working for you, not against you, and doing things for you, not to you.
Okay. Our next is Andrew.
All right. Guys, if you have to leave early for any reason, please let us know so that we can, you know, fit you guys in. You know, the chat is always cool with that. We're cool with that. And we want to make sure that everybody who came in here gets a reading. I'm glad that it resonates with you, Salvador. This is the universe giving you permission to live your life the way that makes you feel good. Not in a selfish way, not to the detriment of others, but, you know, it's your time to shine, baby boy. It's your time to shine, honey. You are so welcome. This is the Seeker Oracle, and I just need one more time who this is for.
Andrew.
I thought so.
Sorry, I was checking my list and counting it twice. I'm starting to look like Santa Claus. You guys want gifts too?
It's not Christmas without one big ticket item from Santa's sack. Did you?
That's right.
American Horror Story, the killer Santa.
Yeah, no.
Never mind.
I know what you're talking about.
He's like a little, and he says the R word, you know, the sexual assault. He's like a little, and the husband's like, "Don't touch her," and he's like, "Who said anything about her?" The show is sick, but it's hilarious.
It was demented.
Okay, the Secret Oracle for Andrew, and you got Set It Free. I'm already starting to see a pattern form here. Andrew, we all have our dreams and personal aspirations. What we don't all possess is the courage to set those dreams free to see if we can make them a reality. What's holding you back? Are you afraid of being judged and laughed at, or are you scared of how you will feel or be regarded if you try and fail? Beautiful soul, don't waste any more time on fictional fears that have no foundation. Life is too short to allow them to become obstacles in your path to happiness. It is time to put your fears and doubts aside, set your intention, voice your desires, even if only in your own hearing, and set your dream free. Set it free and allow it to fly on silent wings to great heights and come back to you when it is time for your dream to manifest. Understand that this moment is a beginning. This is your opportunity to set your intentions and make a wish. But it is also a promise that you will do more than just wish. It is time for you to make a commitment and dedicate yourself to what may become an amazing personal quest that teaches you some life-changing lessons along the way. I kind of see for you, Andrew, some dreams. Maybe I don't want to say dreams, but I see some things that have come in for you recently that are actually really working in your favor, that you feel really good about. But this is the universe kind of telling you, don't let those things overshadow what you're really aiming for in life. So say you want to eventually work your way up in your company. This is just an example to where you're a CEO. but you're now like the guy under the CEO, and you're like, well, to become CEO is going to be like another 5 years of butt kissing, so I'm good where I'm at. Things like that, limiting yourself. Keep reaching for CEO, keep reaching for the stars, and keep climbing higher and higher. You know, why try to manifest $1 million when you can just manifest financial wealth and success, right? Why limit yourself at just the $1 million is what I'm saying. And that's just talking in money, but I'm talking about your goals. There has to be something that for this card to come up for you, there has to be something that, even if it's deep down inside, that you feel maybe a little bit of regret and or disappointment about not having accomplished by now, or something that you really want to take a chance on or take a risk on or try out, but you're afraid to do it because you're like, I'm good where I'm at. Why should I, go completely left field? The universe is saying, prove that you trust in the universe, and the universe will work for you. Okay? Become the fool at the beginning of the journey. There's something here, there's an opportunity, and you get a lot of cards about opportunities. I noticed that about you. So you must be really out there going and getting. But there's an opportunity coming in, and I feel like it's going to take a lot out of you to accept this opportunity. So you may be reluctant to do it because of that. The universe is saying full speed ahead, all systems go, take the leap of faith, jump off that cliff, obviously not literally, and the universe will catch you and help you to fly and soar to new heights. So look out for opportunities this week, and if they feel right and resonate with you and where you're trying to be in life and what you're trying to do and where you then see yourself, make sure that you take it. Don't let anything stop you. Don't come from a place of fear in anything ever, but especially this week.
Okay, you ready? Eris. Now is Eris.
Jules, welcome. Listen, I reached out to you yesterday via text to ask you a few questions because I want to get your box of the stuff that we talked about in our one-on-one. So I would appreciate it if whenever you have a minute, you can just get back to me on those things so that I'm able to get your stuff out to you quicker.
Hello, Blue Crossroads.
Blue Crossroads, hi. Okay, well, you do your housework and you listen, and when we're ready for you, we will call you. I hope you're doing well. Eris, I'm using Aether Creatures. So Joe Stewart, you have a question, and I will just let you know that I pull one card in here. So questions sometimes are a little bit harder to answer with just one card. There's information in the description box about personals, but I do have a love deck. So if you want, I can pull from that deck and we can see if we can get you an answer. Eris, you got Podemon, card number 44 in the shadow. Okay. If the Podemon appears to you in the reverse, it is a huge warning sign that you are sabotaging some relationship in some way. Perhaps you are simply not caretaking the security of a relationship as you should, or are hurting someone whose well-being you should protect. Perhaps you are refusing to let your guard down or not demonstrating the necessary level of commitment. The list of potential ways you could be sabotaging a relationship, or many, at this time is endless. The Podemon appears in reverse like a grandfather who is warning someone younger about the consequences of their careless and immature actions relative to relationships. Therefore, take this warning very, very seriously. Don't keep doing what you are doing, and or don't keep failing to do what you are failing to do in relationships in question. Recognize the impact of your words or silence, actions or inaction on the strength of the relationship itself. You are not acting like the strength and well-being of relationships. Perhaps a specific one is your top priority. And this means you must look at what your actual priorities are. Make sure that you are consciously acting in alignment with your true priorities and understand the positive and negative consequences of those priorities. So I don't think this has to do with any kind of romantic relationship, whereas this is usually where you'll see like the actual Pokemon start, I don't want to say manifesting itself, but showing up and showing itself. I feel like this has to do really and truly with having to reprioritize. So, Eris, there's something that either you feel has been done to you unfairly or that happened to you that wasn't fair. But the universe is saying, like, you really need to shift your priorities if you want to move ahead with any and all relationships or in life in general. Self-love, self-care, mindfulness, being aware of your energetic vibration every single day, and taking risks when it's going to be beneficial for the accomplishment and achievement of your goals. I feel like there's a little bit of negative energy around you this week where you're like, I give up. Like, I don't want to deal, and, nothing ever works out for me, that kind of stuff that we should never be saying out loud or thinking, let alone saying out loud. And the universe is like, stop, take a deep breath and look at where your priorities lie. Are your priorities lying with yourself, or are you putting everyone else first, being taken advantage of, manipulated, possibly abused in some way, dealing with energetic and emotional vampires, manipulators? You really need to pull your energy back from as many of these types of people as possible this week. Sometimes it's unavoidable because we work with these people and things like that. Really pay attention and put prioritizing yourself, your wants, your needs first. It is not selfish. Self-care is not selfish. When you get to the point where you start always thinking the worst or expecting the worst, that's when it's time that you really have to pull your energy out of, away from certain people, out of certain situations, and just start putting Eris first. And that's this week.
Okay, Josephine Van Damme is next. I called
Josephine, her. I'm sorry, what?
I just called her, so hopefully she'll show up.
Oh, it's been taking her a few minutes, and we've been getting on her, so.
And then Monica will be after her.
Mm-hmm. So, Josephine, if you're here, honey, just let me know.
Please.
I'm sure that you are. I'd just like to hear from you.
So, Pixie's going to be on tomorrow night?
Yeah, she's going to be on regularly with us.
Okay.
Well, whenever she can make it.
Sounds good.
I think it's been really amazing having her. We kind of have like our own flow, the three of us going now, where I'm not so like, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do at the beginning of every stream? And it works well together. I'm hoping, some of these other guys want to come on and get involved in the conversation.
Would be nice.
Yeah, Andrew and Gnomes Trucking says, yeah, I wish I had a nuke button for those energy vampires. So put your light out, take the light from your heart center. Okay, I see you, Josephine, and cover your entire body with it and kind of make a little barrier around yourself when you have to be near them. And as long as you're mindful of this energy when you're in their presence, it will actually work for you. And you'll realize that they're taking a lot less from you than they ever were before because you're blocking them. That's how I block them. As empaths, depending how empathic you are, depending on your moon sign, depending on who you are as a human being and your abilities, okay, it's harder for some than others. And it does take practice. But the quicker you start practicing, the quicker you're going to get it down pat. Josephine, you got the card of Serenity. Serenity comes when you trade expectations for acceptance. Acceptance, peace, and choice. Accept your fate and your destined road to be traveled. Some things cannot be changed. This is simple fact. Once you have come to terms with and embrace acceptance, you can feel at peace. Let life flow through the twists and turns as you navigate it naturally. Walk in a state of contentment and tranquility. However, it is for you to know the difference and to choose for yourself. Is it Is it change that you want? And is it possible? If so, go for it. Make a plan and put positive change into forward motion. You've got this and you can make it happen. Improve and rise up to your high standards to reach what you are deserving of. Every day, the choice is yours. Be proactive. Intention, make peace with your situation unless you can and want to make a change for a better outcome. Sorry about all the background noise, guys.
Is that me or you?
Me?
Sorry. Is that me or you? Because I know he's a little.
Me.
Okay.
I can't hear yours.
Okay.
Just give me a second. So this is really talking about Josephine. I feel an energy of like the be proactive really stood out to me. If we're just sitting there and we have an expectation of something going a certain way, and it like getting a new job that pays more and is less hours, right? And we're really like, we're trying to manifest this job. We really want this job. We know in our heart we can do this job. We're meant for this job. And then we don't get this job, being like, well, you know, my manifestations didn't work. And, you know, if the universe really cared about me, then the universe would have allowed this to happen. And that's not really how it works. It's like you have to be proactive and show the universe, like, I really want this job. So then you go and look for another job that's pretty much exactly the same. Or if an opportunity for something that you may consider lesser comes in, that's the universe putting you to the test and saying, you know, are you going to trust in the universe that this quote unquote lesser job is better? I feel like you might have these rigid expectations that, you know, I'm just using this as an example. You're going to meet your soulmate and he's going to be incredibly romantic. You're going to meet him on a beach and he's going to sweep you off your feet and he's going to be, you know, financially wealthy and he's going to be devastatingly handsome. And you guys are going to live in a big white house with a picket fence and have a dog and 3 kids. And it's like, now you're passing up opportunities to meet your soulmate because you have this one rigid expectation of how your soulmate is going to come into your life. And you're not looking anywhere else because you expect that it's going to happen in the way that you expect. I'm not, like I said, this is just an example. So I'm seeing this one idea that you have for something or someone, and you're not paying attention to all of the other opportunities that are coming in around this because you're just waiting for this one thing. The universe is saying, sit back, relax. I've got this. Pay attention to the abundance and the blessing that's coming into you now. Take the opportunities that are being given to you because the universe is making room, for example, for your soulmate to come in. However, the universe sees fit, which is really how you and your soulmate saw fit when you were on the 5th dimension plotting your course, right? You have to be able to bend a little bit and give a little bit. The relationship with the universe is kind of like any other relationship. You have to care for it. You have to cultivate it. You have to give a little, take a little. It can't just be all one way. And I feel like if you could just, you know, try your best to quell the anxiety and really, really accept the fact that the universe is working for you, your eyes are going to be opened up to such incredibly amazing opportunities, more than you ever could have dreamed or tried to manifest for yourself, because the universe knows much better what's in your heart. But you have to be vibrating on the right frequency to be able to even see or acknowledge these other gifts that are coming in.
Okay, Monica. Sorry about that earlier.
It's okay. Sometimes I'm just severed and I'm like,
Sorry, but I'm truly sorry about that.
It's all right. It usually comes right back. So, Monica, I'm going to use Urban Crow. Yeah, I don't want to debate that point, Monica. I appreciate you not writing the whole word there, but I can get in trouble with YouTube because we're not allowed to talk about that.
Yeah, no, they're getting picky really again.
Yeah, funky and crazy, and there are just certain things that I have to shut down immediately. It's not that I care, it's that I don't want my channel to get in trouble. All right, Miss Monica, I'm using Urban Crow.
Yeah, unfortunately, YouTube is Not a good right now with certain things at all.
Yeah, I don't know what's been happening, but even my friend Chris at well, he's not my friend. I don't know him personally, but I feel very connected to him. He reads tarot. And he has this huge channel, and he said that, he lost, like, as far as the algorithm is showing, he didn't get like 700,000 of the views that he can clearly see he got, but
Right.
the algorithm isn't showing them.
Right. Oh, it's crazy because I'm watching even big channels suffer right now.
Well, he's a huge channel. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I know. And I'm just saying that there's all of them are hurting.
Monica, card number 54, the card of wrath. One day I heard the sound of what could have been 100 crows outside my window. The sky was nearly black with swarms of angry birds dive bombing the tree outside my apartment. A young raccoon had killed a baby crow. The energy in the air was almost palpable. You could feel the anger of the crows as well as the fear of the raccoon who clung desperately to the tree for dear life. Wrath creates a powerful energy. It can be destructive and can lead you down a path that may strain or cause friction within a relationship. Wrath adds another element to anger, the element of revenge. It's not just enough for the offender to know that you are angry. They must also feel or experience that anger in some way. Wrath asks you to consider the energy that you are creating out of your anger. Is it one that will, in the end, create a positive change in this relationship, or are you creating resentment that fuels the desire for future revenge? Although it may have been a single event that caused the energy of anger to present itself, it is through wrath that the anger mutates and splinters, creating a breakdown in the relationship and negative emotions. Now, while we don't necessarily have to be talking about a romantic relationship, this could be any relationship. And I said a few weeks ago when Lara was on one of the streams with us, I was like, I don't know. We were talking about how love is an action word. And I was like, I don't know. The opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is indifference. As far as the opposite of wrath, though, I really don't know what that would be. But I feel like even indifference would be better than this. So I don't know if you're currently experiencing this or if you just are about to get so fed up with someone's crap that you're like, you know what, I've suffered enough at your hands, and now I want you to feel that. It's perfectly normal to have that moment, right? We're all human beings. We've all had that moment. And even sometimes when we're working on our spiritual selves and discovering, the joy of being kind and always coming from a place of love and dignity, we still have those moments. The thing, Monica, here is for you not to become stuck there. Don't actually retaliate. I say it to you guys all the time. And that's that no matter how, and this is so hard, I know, guys, no matter how a person comes at you, speaks to you, treats you, the universe is looking at how you behave. So the universe is also looking how you react back toward them. Are you coming from a place of wrath, of anger, of hatred, or are you coming from a place of love and dignity and just, not, I'm sorry, Steven's gone. And I don't have the list. Are you coming from a place of, you're going to make this person suffer and pay, because that is going to come back on you. You may get what you're setting out to do there, but you're not, you're not going to get anywhere spiritually, and you're going to have to start all over again. You're going to be like in this perpetual dark night of the soul and gotten away from the ungrateful person. And that's great. And like I said, it's okay to have that moment where you feel like this person needs to suffer, but you know what? They will in their own way in the universe's time. It's not up for you. I have to go back, guys, and find out who was next. Monica and Palmer. Oh, he's back. I see him in back going like this. Well, at least he put that up there. You okay?
Yes. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I just lost my camera and everything. It was like, what?
Okay,
the heck?
it's no big deal. I just was
weird.
like, oh no, I don't have the list, but I see it. Ann Palmer, Ralph and Cassie Francis, Smoochy, Aunt Edna, and Nutslap. Nutslap, I almost actually believed you at your word when you said you were next. I'm really glad that I looked. Thanks for that. Well, karma, yes, Monica, karma is a separate thing, but the universe giving someone their comeuppance always happens. You know, nobody gets away with behaving that way. It's just that when you're more spiritually aligned and spiritually aware and self-aware and love yourself enough, it's like, you know, that you're far too above doing something like that. And the universe will take care of it. Now, karma is through lifetimes, right? I keep going to say generational, which is, so it's like, what some people think karma is instant, but it's like, it's actually like in your next lifetime, you're going to deal with all the poop that you did in this lifetime. But people like that are just racking it up. And you, like, again, you may not ever see them get this back, but please know and have faith in the universe that they absolutely will. Okay. Ghost Dragons, thank you so much for getting the donations started for that with that super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You got the next person, right?
Yes, sir. Ann Palmer. Let's use Ancestor Spirit. I hope you guys are all well and feeling good tonight. It's been a very busy but very productive week for me this week. So while I'm exhausted, I can't complain because I'm fortunate enough to be doing what I love for a living, and you guys make that possible. And I'm just really so incredibly grateful to you guys for that. You are very, very welcome, Monica. Remember, you're better than that. Okay. And I know that sounds cliche, but it is true. As spiritual beings, especially light workers, we should be working to get to the point where we do feel kind of above things like that, you know, nastiness and jealousy and all that stuff. Like I said, the moment, heck yeah. But to actually get out and act on it, that's bringing yourself a whole other level of the opposite of abundance, the opposite of enlightenment, the opposite of spiritual awakening. You like me? They like me. They really like me.
Well, they don't like me because they didn't say they like me. So I'll go bye.
Darling Deb, we all go through that type of thing. And you know, that's when we really should start trying to manifest more abundance in our lives. And I'm sure you're doing everything you can. That's also a like a thing that's going on right now in our country and in our world, where a lot of people are really just living at the edge of their means. So that's why I'm really eternally grateful that I'm able to do this and make a living with it. Well, this and everything else that I do. Speaking of which, guys, I got the bath salts. I posted in the community tab. I only made small batch for now because I don't know who's going to be ordering. All right, Ann Palmer, connect with past loved ones. Sense, feel, and reconnect. Bat Mom, what's up, girl? I'm mailing your goodie box tomorrow for the crystals that I forgot to put in your Christmas box. Pay attention to what you feel around you, Anne, as well as your 5 key physical senses. You have a 6th sense that connects you to the spiritual world. This card indicates that your 6th sense is strong. Your ancestors or loved ones in spirit are trying to get your attention. They are sending you signs that they are with you and love you very much. Watch for their signals and be open to connecting with them. Learn how to connect with your loved ones in spirit so they can bring guidance, confirmation, and encouragement in times of stress or trouble. You may sense your past loved ones when the hair on your arms rises or when you feel heat or cold in and around your body. You may also experience sensation in your stomach or a heightened need to be on alert. When this occurs, take a moment to ground, breathe deeply, clear your mind, and allow guidance to arise in your heart, mind, or feelings. Downloads, right? So, Anne, you may be aware that you have loved ones that have crossed over that are trying to get your attention and connect with you. If not, here it is. We're making you aware. There's a message that's trying to present itself to get through in the form of a download, okay? And that just means it's a much bigger message than, a sentence that will come in a dream. This is you walking down the street. Suddenly you're hyper alert, you're super sensitive to the wind on your skin, and then you just get all of these thoughts that come through. That's channeling, okay? That's what happens when I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from, and then something completely random usually comes out of my mouth. That's because it's not coming from me. I'm channeling it from spirit. This should happen to you this week or next week, and it might have been happening to you all along. There is definitely a message, and I'm getting, honestly, the sense of a warning. Not like warning, this, it's not like a horrible thing, but it's like, hey, a warning maybe about a person or an opportunity that's about to present itself to you. So please pay super close attention. I never recommend using Ouija boards or anything like that. But if you have, if you know how to scry or use the divining pendulum, if not, don't even try it. But if you know how, maybe you might want to do that. Or the easiest thing you can try that, in my opinion, I hesitate to say this because it could just be in my opinion because I'm so used to dealing with spirit, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, please do. I think automatic writing, though it opens up doors, not usually as much as, say, using a Ouija board or, not knowing what you're doing when you're using a divining pendulum, things like that. So if you absolutely cannot figure out what and or who this is and what it's about, and you just cannot receive the downloads by the end of the week, maybe try some automatic writing, okay? There is a message of warning. Don't trust this person. Don't, whatever. You were right on spot with that card you had ready for me, Gemma. I'm so, so glad. It's not me, guys. Remember, I'm bringing the messages through. But I do appreciate that you appreciate me so much because it makes this much more fun for me. And it also makes me much more confident in the message that I am receiving when you guys validate it on the other end for me. Yes, thank you, Ghost Dragons. Who's next?
Ralph. Sir Ralph.
All right.
I'll move that so you can see his card.
Just give me a second.
Do you have your dragon deck with you?
Do I have a dragon deck with me?
Yes.
Somewhere here. Why?
I was just asking. If you don't have it like right there, I'm not going to make you go up and get it.
Does someone want it?
For some reason, though, I wanted you to give Ralph a dragon reading. One of the dragon decks. It just came in my head for some reason. I don't know why, but
the dragon decks. Let me just look because they're right here. The issue that I sometimes have with the dragon decks is that they're very.
I know they're long sometimes too.
No, they're not long. They're very mystical.
Oh,
so here it is. Okay. So whereas like if I'm reading, from the Witch's Oracle, or Witch's Kitchen Oracle or something like that, it's going to give very mystical advice. It might talk about a spell you can cast. Okay. The dragon decks are very mystical a lot of the times too. So I have a hard time interpreting them for the average person who's not, a witch or, but I'll give it a try.
I don't know why it just came in my brain all of a sudden. And
let's see.
Maybe you'll get something good.
Nutslap, it's much more than just sitting there with a pencil, but that is the idea of automatic writing. Yes, you have to do some prep work, open yourself
and
up.
I do automatic writing, so it's not that simple.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, unless you're a really experienced, medium, I could probably put my pencil down or my pen down and, have messages coming in within 5 minutes. But I don't know if there'll be sensical messages until I get to like an hour of doing that, So It does take some type of preparation and connection. But for me, I find it the easiest for people who aren't mediums and who otherwise, might gasp, use a Ouija board or something. Someone new just came in. Oh, Monica, Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Jennifer Parker, hi. Jen and Josh say hi from Texas. Well, hello, Jen and Josh from Texas. Hi from Gemma in New Jersey and Stephen in Ohio and the rest of the chat from everywhere. All right, Ralph. Ghost Dragons wanted me to use a dragon deck for you, so I don't know. Let's see. Avebury Matriarch. Let's see. It's card number 13. Quote, I will guide you to discover the best way you can heal. This dragon comes in with the strength and power to delve deep into our ancestral past and bring healing. She usually follows the matriarchal of time. She states, the time has come to release the chains that bind the continued pain from your ancestors, which has been passed down from generation to generation. You do not need to own this, as it is not and never was your own pain to bear. Ralph, she reassures us it is safe to explore old family hurts and release them to her. If she has shown up today in your reading, ask for her wisdom to guide you in the best way to heal the past and move forward in your life. She says, I will guide you to discover the best way you can heal and leave the pain of your ancestral past behind. Old family wounds only fester on a deeper level if not acknowledged and released. They serve you no purpose in your journey now. If the Avebury matriarch has flown into your awareness today, she wants you to visit an old natural temple, stone circle, or other ancient sacred site. See, this is what I mean. Like, who randomly, who's not involved in this kind of work, would just know where something like that is. But I've got a message for you already. To connect with the energy of the land there, she asks for you to ground yourself and be still and ask for her guidance. Due to her connection with the Avebury Henge, she carries an incredibly ancient energy, that of the old ways, the shamanic healing of the ancestors of England. Her wisdom is as ancient as the land itself. So, Ralph, in the simplest terms, and this is actually a very beautiful card, there is some energy coming in that you may not even be aware of, where you might feel like it's bad luck, or, you know, that you made a wrong choice somewhere or missed an opportunity somewhere. But really, it's just these ancestral, we were just talking about karma, right? This is like ancestral karma that has started on your mom's side many generations back, or many other lifetimes ago, right? Because time is not linear. But I say past lives, future lives, present life, because that's kind of an easier way to explain it. And that's how most people think of it. So think maybe I'm getting like 300 years back and further, something down that line happened that your family has been carrying with them since. It's not like an attachment of something, but it is some kind of bond. I don't know if someone like made a deal with, like, you know, a lower vibrational entity, if there was someone practicing dark magic. There's something very not evil, but like negative here. And the universe is saying, like, you might actually be onto this. So if you cannot wallow and not look at this as bad luck, maybe get some, you know, Reiki, go see a Reiki master, get some healing done, or even something as small as acupuncture. Keep searching on your spiritual journey at the very least. Okay. Understand that, you know, you are a co-creator with the universe. As a human being, abundance is your birthright. You do not have to carry anyone else's baggage, generational, karmic baggage. Okay. You have to reap what you sow, not what your great grandmother to the 300th and some odd degree sowed or has sown. All right. So if you're feeling down in the dumps, if you're feeling kind of down on your luck, this week, I want you to focus on, if you pray, pray. If not, try to even do a guided meditation of, you know, becoming, aligning your chakras, becoming more spiritually aligned and connected to your ancestors. And they may even bring in a download and tell you exactly what this is, just to sever this connection and move on from it. This quote unquote run of bad luck, this is about to be over, because your ancestors are working with spirit, or working in spirit with the universe and your whole spirit team to kind of nip this in the bud for you. So expect in the next week or two to, you know, maybe become more passionate about spirituality, become more passionate about connecting with and connecting to and reaching your ancestors and finding out more about them. You may become interested in a certain ancestor and you have no idea why, or something like that, because the universe is now stepping in to break these generational bonds for you, to kind of lift this little tiny piece of dark cloud that has been following your family for generations. And the universe chose you. Your ancestors chose you, but you have to accept it as fact and go from there.
Okay, real quick. Is John Stewart and Jennifer, are you new folks?
Joe Stewart, I think it was.
Joe Stewart. I'm sorry.
And Jennifer Parker is new.
Okay, that's because she had a question for you when you do her reading.
Okay. So Jennifer, I don't do like that type of channeling publicly in this stream. I pull oracle cards and get advice from spirit and the universe. So I don't know if it's going to be specific. You can contact me privately for something like that. This is usually like I'll pull a random card, but what I will do is I will keep that question. And when I pull the card, I'll see what comes through the card. This is kind of to get people involved with Intuitive Oracle and get them to come into their spiritual selves and spiritual alignment. But I will gladly ask the question as I read. I don't normally do questions when I'm only pulling one card, but because you're new and I want you to feel accepted, and because I want to try to help you, I will do it for you this time. And I'll see if we can get anything through the card, because I only read cards in this stream. Privately, I do other things. So if you like a card, let us know too, because we'll bump you up a little bit to the top. Joe Stewart, I've seen the name before, but I don't know if I've seen it on Facebook or in here.
Okay.
Because he was also asking a question, but his was a little more general.
Yes, his was about a soulmate. I remember his. We're going to do Smoochie next.
Okay, Joe's here.
Yes.
You're so welcome, Jennifer. So Smoochie.
Yep.
Smoochie.
What I'm going to do is
thank you so much. I appreciate you too, honey. I appreciate all of you guys. And I always, my spiritual mission, what I'm trying to guide so many of you guys to, is to help you all, bringing messages from spirit. So I appreciate you guys and your validations and your kindness and just how beautiful you all really are as light workers in this community, in this chat particularly. A lot of you are my soul family. I have so many soul siblings and none of my soul aunt and just so many of you. I just appreciate you all so much. And I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you guys in my life. So Jennifer, welcome. I will do what I can for you. And Joe, you're welcome. Before you start,
I was just going to say, after we do Smoochie, let's go ahead and do the two new people. If and that slap is okay with that, and we'll go ahead and do them so their questions could possibly be answered.
Yeah, awesome. And just so you guys know, when it's your first time in here, we'll bump you up. Otherwise, you gotta wait in line. But it's how we do it. And you know what's really cool too? Nobody ever complains about that. Nobody's ever like, hey, it was my turn. Like, why'd you let the new person who's never been here before go first? You know, and it's like an unspoken thing. And I love you guys for that. Okay, Smoochie, you got the Sun in Leo, and it's the card of fortune. Now, remember, this doesn't mean you are a Leo sun, but it means this is the energy coming in for you this week. Nuts Up says, I object, good sir. Well, you know what then?
Come here and I'll slap your nut.
I'm sorry about your luck. Oh, guys, today, real quick, before I couldn't stop laughing in the car because I said, my mom's like, what are they doing on that road? You know, there was a detour, and you know how my mom hates detours, how she was driving. I'm like, she's like, they just paved it. I'm like, maybe there was a pothole. And she's like, I told you they just paved it. So I started thinking of that pothole guy that's like, choke me, devil daddy, choke me. I made her watch it. She's like, what the is wrong with that guy? I'm like, apparently that's Mark from Arby's. I don't know. That guy always makes me laugh. That video is so old, but I was literally crying. He's hilarious. I'm like, who just walks down the street? That guy was probably looking out his window like, the news people are there. I'm going to dress up and go be as weird as possible. And he's talking about like hellfire and hell springing forth. And the guy who almost got caught in the sinkhole was a pastor. So that was interesting. Okay, sorry. Random party of me. Smoochie. This is the most auspicious position for the sun in the whole deck of cards. It is in its own sign, Leo. Astrologically, Sun in Leo rules the 5th house, August, prestige, pride, children, and love affairs. Wow. Sun in Leo people are defined by their dignity and generosity, great vision, and the power to see a plan and make it a reality. When this card appears, it has provided or is about to present a great relieved, at last type feeling. Sun in Leo is not about sudden, unexpected good luck, but much more concerned with gaining the recognition or results one has been aiming for. It represents good fortune in the sense that all the hard work put into a project or situation is at last recognized. A good performance is satisfactorily rewarded, and one should now take an opportunity to lie back and relax a little bit. Although the fortune card represents the successful end of a long, hard journey, it does not mean that the person it applies to has come to a standstill. The longed-for success has opened a doorway to new horizons and greater responsibility. There is an element of game playing when this card appears in a reading. It denotes that whatever has gone before had a long-term strategy in which every move was countered with a new problem to solve. The inquirer accepted the challenge each time and surmounted it. When the fortune card appears with cards that are less auspicious, it has the power to lessen any negatives in a reading. Grand successful plans, great shows of achievements, receiving recognition, a creative success, exhibition of talents, successful offspring, and love affair. Miss Smoochie, I'm getting a very kind of straightforward message here. It's like you've come to, remember I was talking about rebirth. A lot of us are going through our rebirth. Specifically people coming into the sign of Pisces, not just because I'm one of them, but, generally. But I was also saying that anyone who's been working hard on their spirituality, on becoming the best version of themselves, on trusting the universe, all these things that we work on every single week in this stream, whether you guys who are a part of it every week realize it or not, that's exactly what we're doing, okay? You are coming to a time of rebirth and renewal where you are no longer going to sit idly by, because all the skills that you're learning, all of the food that you've been giving to your soul, it's like automatically going to kick in, and you're going to stand your ground. You're going to step into your power. And what once was acceptable to you, even though you knew it was wrong, you were still just accepting it because that's the way it is. And, with this particular person and or in this particular situation. Mike Roberts, hi. I was thinking about you today, hoping that you were well. Not anymore. It's like, no, like you've learned so many lessons, whether you realize it or not, and have gone through such tremendous changes for the better and through so much growth that the potential for you to really stand your ground and be in your power with a certain person and or situation is growing exponentially until you hit probably the end of the month where you're really going to make that choice. Like, are you going to continue in this way, or are you going to finally put what you learned to the test and stand up for yourself and or others? Jules, thank you so much. Thank you, baby girl. Always appreciate it. Dead balls. Oh man, Gemma, what happened? Thank you, sir. Thank you. I didn't see it because I never read the chat. I'm more dealing with all this, like who is Carol? Why is there a Carol here in my face, elbowing everybody to the side? I don't know. Anybody own a Carol that's in spirit? More recent, like in the past 50 years? Mm-hmm. Who's next?
Okay, we're going to go ahead and do Joe.
And Joe had a question.
Yes, his question. 1 second, I'll pull it up for you.
Thank you, sir.
It's way up here, so give me a sec. Dun, dun, dun. La, 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 la. Okay, where are you at, Joe? I know I'm getting close, so give me 1 sec. I should have had it pulled up for you in the first place.
No, it's okay.
Uh-oh, did I pass him? Whoops.
Yeah, I don't know, Mike. I'm going to have to look into it at the end of the stream because she's been very present since like 15 minutes before we got here. Yes, Shelly. I knew Shelly was going to be like, wait a minute.
Hey, where did I thought I started, but I guess I didn't. Where are you, Joe?
Joe, so you had a question about your soulmate. I know that much. Just
yes, that's what it was. Am I going to find love?
Because I don't take questions usually, we forgot to star it. I just starred Jennifer's. So.
Okay, you did? Okay, thank you.
I got Jennifer's starred, but we still have to find Joe.
It was right above her somewhere.
No, Joe was way before her. She came in.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm going up. I'm looking up on the thing. Okay, I see her. I had it and then I lost it.
It's no big deal. We're not used to it, so I'm sure they don't mind. It's not like we're going anywhere. I'm thinking about doing a stream where I have you guys submit questions beforehand for like a month. But the problem with that is every time I'm like, guys, let's do this, email me. Nobody does it.
No,
Nobody does it. Okay, I got it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Joe Stewart says the most important thing tonight about my reading when it comes is my soulmates. Will I ever fall in love? No. Oh yeah, that is kind of creepy, Mike. Thank you, Mother. I was getting pretty chilly down here. Oh. Yeah, I had to put my sweater on. Because we live in a haunted house, there are certain areas of the house, Stephen, you know this, that are like 65 at all times, no matter what. And then other areas like the upstairs, which is a little bit less active, are like 80 at all times. So, okay, Jules, you know what? Because I was having those issues with your phone number, would you just please text me one more time and I'll save whatever number comes in? I just had a couple little questions because I know you had ordered a box for me or I had sent you one and I want to make sure I don't double send this, some certain things. And I also, the gist of it was I want to reconnect with you tomorrow at around 7 p.m. Eastern for about 15 minutes, touch base with you, mail everything out Friday. But I had some other questions. There it is, Joe. I'm documenting my personal clients now. You are now one of them because we did the face-to-face. So just for me to see in my own private records. But I also needed your birth chart information one more time because after I read emails, I archive them and we've gone back and forth so many times. And I just want to document it so I can eventually get to your birth chart, get to know you better and things like that. So just text me. I'll run through all that with you again. I don't know why I just said that all, but it is what it is. Okay, Joe, this is very interesting. Okay. So you want to know when it comes to your soulmate, will you ever fall in love? Right? So first I want to say that we have several soulmates throughout our existence. Yeah, Jules, that's the type of stuff I want to talk to you about when we reconnect tomorrow so that I know exactly what to send to you, okay, and what instructions to give. So text me and we'll talk through it. So we have several soulmates, okay? When we're in the fifth dimension and we're plotting our course, the soulmates that are not currently incarnated on Earth are up there with us. Like, ooh, you know what would be good? If I came into your life right then, and this is the impact I'll have. So while soulmate connections can be romantic, a lot of the time they're not. Like my soulmates, one of several, usually people have about 5, but people can have up to like 15, is my 4.5-year-old son. He was put here to save my life, to usher me into this new direction of accepting my abilities, being on YouTube and doing what I love for a living, things like that. So that's a soulmate's job. Could be love. But when we come down to Earth, right, and after we've lived so many lifetimes, and you could believe this or not, but this is what I know from spirit. So this is my truth, right? The truth that I'll give to all of you guys, my friends, my family in real life as well. We have so much to accomplish and to do and to learn, regardless of what planet or what dimension, whatever, what reality we're from, that the soul often splits in 2, yin and yang. That doesn't mean male and female. It just means there are 2. Okay. When you meet, I think you're talking about twin flame energy, your other half, your kindred spirit. Okay. Where you walk into a room one day and your energy is just going to go, there's someone here. That's where I'm from. Where are they? And you immediately attract. So the card that you got, Joe, it's very interesting that this card flew out. It's card number 2 in the Whispers of Love deck. Okay. And it's like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. Now, this doesn't mean you're not loving or that there's anything wrong with you. But what it means is you have to start vibrating at the frequency of attracting the type of love you want to receive. And that's by putting that type of love out there. The law of attraction states that you need to be in the vibration of what you want to create. Love will come to you more readily if you surround yourself with love and easily find things to love about yourself and your own life. Take a moment to think of the many things you love. Use your imagination and visualize a world in which you can manifest your heart's desire. Try not to seek out whatever it is that you wish for. This is the challenging aspect of the law of attraction. Act as if what you yearn for is already here. So I'm going to stop there for a minute because this is a hard concept. If you're thinking about attracting your soulmate, your twin flame, your kindred spirit, whatever you want to call it, right? You're actually telling the universe, hey, I don't have this. And the universe is saying, oh, you don't have that. So you're vibrating at the frequency of lack. You're coming at the universe from a place of lack. If you walk around like, going to meet my soulmate, my soulmate's already here. I just haven't laid eyes on them yet. Yes, I can't wait until we look at each other. I'm so pumped. And that's when the universe is going to say, oh, awesome. Here you go. Bing. And, just like that. Giving attention to or waiting for what you are longing for sends a message to the universe that you don't possess your desire and you will magnetize not having it. In this picture, a fairy holds an image of herself that holds an even smaller image of herself. The smallest image could be associated with your inner child and what you have longed for in your life. You attract to your life things that mirror your thoughts. This would explain why the fairy is holding an image of herself. Fairies symbolize the magic that life has to offer. This is a card of hope and a reminder that magic is readily at hand when you shift into a place of positive patience. So, Joe, in answer to your question, yes, you are definitely going to find your soulmate, as you call it, or your twin flame, your kindred spirit. I can't tell you when, but I can tell you that the sooner you start just accepting that you're about to meet them, that, they're already in your orbit. Maybe you've met them already and you just didn't realize who they were. When you start vibrating from that frequency, that's when you're going to meet them. That takes a lot of spiritual work, but it's not hard work. It's the law of attraction, the law of assumption, knowing that you're co-creating with the universe. So you could literally have what and whoever you ever could imagine or want when you want it. But you have to be mindful of those darn pesky thoughts, those fears. Approach nothing from a place of fear. You're going to get your twin flame. Your twin flame energy is coming in for you. And I don't think it's going to be a very long time from now. But how long depends on you. If you walk around being very kind to people, like I talked about before, I don't know if you're in here, regardless of how they treat you, bounce that energy to the universe of kindness, of patience, of trust and faith. The universe is going to give it to you faster than you probably could even imagine. And I get a feeling in your case, you may have already crossed paths with this person. It doesn't necessarily mean you know them personally, but I'm getting like from what I'm seeing is like a connected connection. So like, you go to a party for your friend's birthday and some of your other friends are there and they bring friends and they bring friends and like your kindred spirits in this group. So you may have like been introduced to them and like moved on, though you felt a connection. All right, Jennifer. Nick Y, hi. And by the way, it's called stuffed cabbage. Okay, my mother and Josh's father are both passed. Do they have any advice for us? We could use it. So like I said, I'm just going to focus on them and pull advice in through the cards, okay? This is not something I usually do, but like I said, I want to help you. So just let me think of the best deck to do this with. Guys, is it called halupki or stuffed cabbage?
We've always called it stuffed cabbage. But we're from Ohio. We're simple.
He's from Pennsylvania.
Oh, is he?
Nothing against you Pennsylvanians, just that state is not for me. All right, guys, remember, I'm not ignoring anyone. I just can't do everything that I'm doing. and view the chat as well. All right, this is for Jennifer and Josh. I'm going to try to pull on their energy, but again, I don't want to promise anything I can't deliver, because it's a completely different state of mind and a completely different way of channeling. When I do it with the cards, it's energetic channeling, whereas, you know, I come direct to the spirit with regular channeling, like you're talking about. So I hope I don't disappoint. Okay. All right. And when I do use cards for something like that, it's usually tarot. All right, you got the Aries in, I think this is Mars, but this is a new deck, so I have to still learn the symbols, and I am working on it, guys. So Mars, yes, Aries in Mars, and I believe that's right where Aries belongs, actually. Or, you know, or what Aries is ruled by Mars, because I'm an Aries ascendant. Okay, here it is. Mars is the ruling planet for Aries. I knew it. And so here it sits in its natural fiery element. This planet sign combination describes people who are energetic and impulsive in their every action. They feel a need to get things done, and this leads them to start numerous new projects. Acting before thinking inevitably leads to disasters, but these Martians are resilient, and wins always predominate losses. People described by this card are somewhat competitive and display a need to be seen in a leading position. Basically, they are outgoing and feel more comfortable at the front with group endeavors. These Martians are natural leaders and take on this role within any situation which requires positive action. Mars Aries people take great pride in their abilities and are not happy unless they do more and quicker than anyone else. There is, however, a belligerence in the Mars Aries nature that can go over the top, and these characters may ride roughshod over other people in order to get their own way. I am a Mars and Aries person. That's my chart placement. Mars Aries personalities are at their best when they realize through experience that their potential for power works a great deal more effectively when they exert discreet control. When this card is drawn in a reading, it shows that some kind of physical and or competitive action is necessary for the well-being of the person asking the question. A challenge that requires courage, proving oneself by tackling the unknown, acting on impulse in a sudden situation, leading others with enthusiasm into a new venture. So let me tell you what I'm getting, okay? And again, I'm pulling in energy, Jennifer. So I don't want you to think I'm sitting here with your mother and Josh's father in front of me, but I can pull their energy in for the sake of this stream and how I do readings. All right. I don't want there to be any confusion. I can do that, but that's not what I do here on this stream. So the one thing that stuck out to me more than anything else is some type of person. I'm specifically reading for you because you're the querent, the person that's in here, okay? And I'm getting a specific message for you. There is some person in your life who is either taking advantage of you or manipulating you in some way. I just see this person's energy as like they're really not very nice. They're nice sometimes, but it's usually to apologize for something bad that they did. I don't know if you know who this person is. It could be someone coming in that you're being warned about, okay? I feel a lot of what I'm hearing too is like, stop being such a people pleaser. Understand that you have to take control, step into your power, and really go the distance for yourself. I talked about this before with people always wanting to be like, and I'm not specifically talking about you and your boyfriend, but I'm talking about like, want to be a ride or die, you know, ride or die. But the thing is, like, be a ride or die for yourself and let the other person be a ride or die for themselves. There are three entities when you're in a relationship, and this is for friendships too and business relationships. So it may not be about your romantic relationship. There's you as an entity, the other person, and then the relationship itself. if you're only feeding yourself or if you're only feeding the other person, you're not feeding the relationship as a whole. And this is completely coming channeled right now. I don't even really understand what I'm saying. You have to feed both, you know, the other person and the relationship and expect that they're going to feed you. But I think you've gotten to the point now with this person, and you know this deep down inside, or you're going to know it immediately, instinctually when you come across this person, that they're just not going to do that. They're not going to ride or die for you, no matter how much they expect you to do it for them. This person is like, I'm getting like very narcissistic vibes. Another thing that's coming in, Jennifer, for you is to make sure you say what you mean. You can say anything that you mean with kindness and love, okay? Just because you have a truck doesn't mean you have to help other people move all the time and they don't even want to pay you gas money, okay? Just because you have $1 million doesn't mean you have to constantly lend someone in your family $10 when they ask for it, but you can say no with kindness and love. I feel like some situation here or some person here is like slowly stripping you of your dignity and starting to make you really question your reality. And again, if this hasn't happened, it is coming in. And this is a warning, or more of, I don't want to say warning. I don't like that word. This is more of like a, hey, if you don't put a stop to this now, it's going to get worse. And then who knows where you're going to end up. Focus on Jennifer. If your relationship with Josh is not what this is all about, then focus on that relationship and him too, okay? And stick together. But if that's not a relationship that you can lean on, regardless, pay more attention to yourself, to your own spirituality, to your own needs. Self-care and self-love is not selfish. And you are risking not only physical burnout, but spiritual and emotional burnout as well. It's time to really say, you know what? I wish that I could, but I can't. You know, if you're going to continue to behave that way, I love you, but I can't be around you anymore, and really make it stick and know for a fact that the universe is going to back you up because you're making the right decision. It may get lonely. You may feel lost, but it doesn't matter because you're the fool at the beginning of the journey, taking that leap of faith. And that's the best I can do for you with the one card pull. You are very, very welcome, Joe. You guys are all welcome. All. Thank you so much. There you go. You may have, I see on the periphery, you know. Good night, Shelly. Sorry, you couldn't stay with us tonight. Who's next?
I'm talking with the mute on.
I saw him. Oh, I'm muted.
She said she was going to go talk to you. She said I was going to go talk to Miss Gemma and let her know she understands. That's what she said earlier. Okay. I don't know if she's actually leaving.
She's probably going to text me. Oh, Jennifer, you're so welcome. And yeah, I really felt like the people that are usually in here know that when like I'm really channeling with like actual spirit energy, instead of just the like regular universal energy and pulling some spirit through, my ears get really red and I get like really, it just kind of comes. So I'm really glad that resonated and made sense for you. Okay. And you're always welcome here. We're here every Wednesday night, and Thursday nights we do something a little different where we kind of talk about spirituality and sometimes extraterrestrials and whatever.
We let Gemma ramble.
It's a rambling, but when I'm in the middle of the reading, it's actually channeling. Yep. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. Andrew said, once you start coming back more and more, Jennifer, it's just unbelievable. Darling Deb said, Gemma amazes me. Lotus Girl says, always on point. She pretty much predicted that after my new trucking job, the doors would still continue to open up for other areas of my life. You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. And it means a lot to me because of all the years that I kind of dulled my light and didn't want to deal with my abilities or work with them. And like, I get to help people. And that to me is amazing.
Okay, you ready?
I am so ready.
Aunt Edna, my dear Aunt Edna.
Oh, Richard, thank you so much. Yes, and Bigfoot.
And Bigfoot.
I'm not saying it was Bigfoot, but Aunt Edna.
Actually, it was a short little guy from Norway.
As RJ would say,
Rawr. Rawr.
Nick goes right about everything except Halepki. Do you know why I hate calling it Halepki? I'm going to tell you a story, Nick. You're going to understand this. I hate calling it Halepki because Anthony's mom taught me how to make it, but she didn't really teach me. She taught me in a way where I would mess it up, and she knew that the trouble I was going to get into by Anthony for messing up his dinner, and he called it Halepki. And I remember him screaming like, "You messed up my Halepki," and then bad things happened. I refuse to acknowledge that it's Halepki. So it's stuffed cabbage. Jules, I feel you, girl. I know what you're talking about. Okay. And Edna, I'm using the Oracle of Shadows and Light. I got to pull out the Angels and Ancestors for you next week. I know you really like that deck, and I like to give you readings from it every once in a while. I cannot take my eyes off this chocolate calcite, guys. It's like just calling to me. And I was meditating with it and opening up with it before stream. And
hold that up again, please.
One of the things that it does is it opens you up to your psychic intuitiveness, your intuition. And if you're a medium, it does help you channel better. Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It also looks very edible.
It looks like a caramel with vanilla, right?
Yeah.
But this lion skin stone too, guys, it is
I like that.
An anxiety, a super duper stress and anxiety relieving stone. So this is like a worry stone would be absolutely perfect. All right, Nick. Yeah, try to pop back in. The gateway tapes. I keep hearing about.
Is Nick leaving?
Yes, his phone's going to die and he's at work.
Okay, Nick. Just if we call you and you're not here, look in the comments and I'll put a timestamp for you.
Or I'll just text you the time. Put it in the comments, but I don't know if he knows how to do that. So I'll text him the timestamp afterwards.
Okay.
Only because you're my friend.
And she charges extra for it, but she doesn't tell you until you get the bill.
You're all my friends. I should say only because you're a fellow Steelers fan. So we're in Five Below the other day. They have these beautiful, I think I told you guys, angel candles. And I love to put goodies in the boxes that people order. So, darling Deb, give me 1 second. That's a great question. And I hear RJ go, "God damn Steelers." And I'm like, what? I said, "What do you mean?" He's like, "The Steelers, I just can't stand them." And I'm thinking, well, that's random. Like, I don't even watch football anymore. And he's like, look what they did. He's like, they come in the store and they steal stuff. He meant thieves. Because there was a package that was opened and he was clearly missing something. Someone had stolen it. He meant thieves. I said, "Honey, you mean thieves?" "Yeah, the Steelers."
The Steelers. Hey,
So darling Deb wanted to know.
I was looking for it. Yep.
Do certain crystals do certain things, or can you give them a purpose? Struggling with the wording here. Okay, so I can take. So let me do this because that's a really good question. Chocolate calcite. I'm gonna. So all right. So the metaphysical properties of chocolate calcite nourishes the lower chakras, comfort and warmth, grounding and focus, energy amplifier, clear stagnant energy, reduces fear and stress, awareness of opportunities for prosperity and growth, pursue your heart's desires, material manifestation, physical and psychic healing, all of those things, right? So when you do an intention with the chocolate calcite, you're probably going to want to stay within those bounds. But you can put any intention into any crystal, right? It just may not work as well. So if I wanted to use this, on my third eye chakra, even though it's for the root chakra, it'll help a little bit, but it's not going to do what it's going to do for my root chakra. So I would always, and there are basic crystals that you can literally get anywhere, one for each chakra. They all do different types of things. So the stones that are associated with, say, the heart chakra are all going to do different things, but relatively the same thing, like red jasper. Now, clear quartz is an amplifier. So it'll amplify, like, for instance, chocolate calcite, whatever it does, it'll be like times a million. Or clear quartz, you can put any intention you want into, and it's going to take that intention and you can work with it. And there are several other types. I believe selenite, don't quote me, is also usually the clear ones. I'll generalize in that way. So while yes, you can do it because you can create any kind of energy with anything that you want, I would really recommend sticking to at least, the periphery of what they're supposed to be used for, because they work much better. I've noticed, I don't know what you guys are going to do, but for me, I always put one in my bra, the one that I want to work with that day. So I'll take it off the charging plate or out of the moonlight, hold it in my hand, announce the intention. I usually don't announce an intention. I just restate a lot of the properties of it, like what it can do. And then I stick it in my bra. Eventually I'll start feeling it get really hot, believe it or not. The same thing if you're holding it in your hand and putting an intention to it, it should start burning your hand. Not like obviously 3rd degree burns, but it'll start burning your hand or causing your hand to be extremely warm once the intention starts coursing through your body and manifesting out into the universe. Paranormal Pixie, hi. Yes, play hooky and hang out with us. All right, Anna, sorry about that. That was an amazing question, though. You're so welcome. You're welcome so much. All right. Ooh, I love this card. Voodoo in Blue. Card number 22, Back Off, with exclamation points. All right. This fairy is letting you know that it's time to back off from a person or situation that is not in your best interest, Anna, and that you may need to be brave and stop being so welcoming of what you actually do not want. People pleasing. So this blue fairy waving her voodoo doll is letting you know very clearly that you now must tell someone to take a step back. You know you've been overriding your instincts with what seems rational, with misguided desire to help and befriend someone who may not be particularly good for you. Voodoo in Blue doesn't mind if she looks a bit nasty when she gives the back off message. She'd rather she was loud and clear and that the person pushing her buttons leaves quickly. So she wants you to start trusting your instincts, to start valuing being honest above being nice. You do feel like you need to stay away from someone and to tell that person clearly to stay away from you. And Voodoo in Blue, stepping forward to speak with you, confirms that your hunches have been ever so right all along. Voodoo in Blue speaks. You are doing so well right now that you may begin to attract some attention from people who are, quite simply, opportunistic. Or I'm getting more so energy vampires. And you are being kind and wishing to help. And so I'm going to step in and give you a very clear warning. I don't mind if I look like the bad guy. What matters is that you get the message. Time to do a little stay away magic. And while I won't be sending them bad thoughts, after all, there are no pins in my voodoo doll. You, if you take my advice, won't be asking them to come around for tea anytime soon. Your feelings are right on this one. You know what to do. Don't get involved and don't get bullied. You may have to snarl a little too to get them to stay away. Divination message, you need someone to back off and give you space. You are not liking them, you are not welcoming them, and you need to be very clear and straight about that, despite all of your desire to be loving and the lovely person you are. Detach from whatever it is that's giving you so much, grief, by asking whatever and whoever it is that is irritating you, draining you, or pushing your buttons to leave you be for the moment. Be respectful and kind, yet cool at first. But if good intentions are mistaken for a new invitation, be very clear and say, away. Stop being so nice that you send very mixed messages. It's banishing time. Girl, need I say more? You've had to do this. She's been calling again. You've had to do this to a lot of people. And I know like a couple of years ago when I first started doing these streams, you went through a time where you had to really put up boundaries with people who you didn't really want to see go, but they weren't doing anything for you, for your life. And you finally were like, you know what, Gemma, I'm going to do it. And you did it. And you've spiritually excelled since then. So No mixed messages. And you can kindly say, I don't want to talk to you, or I love you, but I don't like who you are as a person. You can say it like that. You don't have to curse or scream or yell or threaten. You know that. How many times? Over and over again until they get the message, right? I know how many times you've had to do it, or at least I have an idea because I know how many times the cards have had to tell you to keep doing it. Honey, as hard as it may be, this person is going to, I can see it literally, cause a major disruption in all of the spiritual work you've been doing, all of the personal work you've been doing on yourself, anything good that you've been able to manifest or bring about because of your hard work is going to be completely shot, because this person's going to take everything. And then when you have nothing left, they're going to take that too. It's your choice, honey.
Okay, your lovely friend Nutslap.
Yeah, some crystals are not meant to be put in water at all. Yeah. You can rinse them and wipe them. But even when I make the manifestation and intention sprays, I have like 50 different kinds of crystals, even crystals that I don't have even tumblestones of, I have in chips. And I have to be very careful to make sure I'm not putting, every once in a while I will. Like I'll make a turquoise roller, but you're not supposed to get turquoise wet because it's being used for something else and it doesn't matter if it cracks. But if you're trying to really work with a stone, look up its properties. I think a hardness of, I would go with 6 or less on the Morse scale. You don't want to get it wet. 6.5 up to 10. I think it ends at 10. You can go ahead and soak it and get it wet and it doesn't matter. Selenite, I would believe, is one that you can't. I will never forget the reading I got tonight. I will always remember it. Well, Joe, I'm really happy to hear that. And we do this every Wednesday night. And you can come in every Wednesday and get a reading. If you're ever interested in a personal, like I said, the information is in the description box. And I also have a metaphysical shop as well. Eris said, I'm glad you took my advice, Joe Stewart.
That's good.
I can't wait, you guys. Nutslap, I know we use this one often for you, but it's simply calling. So we're going to use the Divine Circus.
Oh, that's right. It was Joe's first reading. Yeah.
Yes.
First readings are, and then if it didn't click in right away, about 3 days from now, you're going to go, holy crap.
Yeah. I've had people, well, it's happened twice that someone was like, you don't make any sense. And, you know, this sucks, you know, and then they come back like 2 weeks later and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Everything you said. And I'm like, that's because it's not me. Like I am channeling spirit here. I know it's hard to understand when I say I'm not getting actual spirits here. And then I say I'm channeling spirit. I'm not pulling them in for a conversation to connect with loved ones is what I mean. They connect with you enough with your entire spirit team. Sometimes you don't have deceased loved ones here. Sometimes it's just your team. Every once in a while, if someone's really, really struggling or depressed, I'll know. I don't announce it publicly, obviously, but then it's just angels coming in, right? So I remember Mike said it was your first reading, Joe Store. I still remember my first one, just like if it was being read now. Darling Deb, same thing. I remember my first one too, life-changing. I had no idea, guys. That's awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it really is. I had no idea. That is so cool. I really got to start the anytimes. I really do.
That was funny because when you gave me my first reading, I remember my first reading with you.
That's crazy.
And then I remember the very first time you sent me a video personal reading, because that's when I emailed you back with a reading, with my video of you reacting to your reading. But that reading was like, and it went on for like a month. That reading just like plump, 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 right almost in a row.
A lot of the times they will go on longer because it's always a learning process. And depending on where you are, there's a learning curve, right? I try to limit the information that I see. Like I sometimes do get more information, but I see it as lines. So like this week, if I see it back this or next week, once I start seeing it like 4, 5, 6 down, I'm like, they'll be back and I'll get, because that's like getting really, but when I do the personals, that's the kind of stuff that I'll bring through that I don't bring through here. Okay, my Nutslap. It's time to be a party person. You got card number 34, the card of confetti. I was thinking of putting confetti in the spiritual helper boxes, just making you guys open it and it explodes.
The feathers was bad enough.
An exploding pixie. It's time to be a party person, to find the celebratory spirit within you. Maybe you already feel it, or maybe it's the last thing in the world you can imagine feeling right now. But whether it's on your radar or not, a cause for celebration is imminent. So, can you put yourself in the party mood? It starts with a carnival attitude and a pleasure-seeking state of mind. Can you allow for pleasure, for play? Oh, yes, there is always so much to do, but sometimes all that can happen more quickly and easily on another day. For now, the Oracle of Confetti suggests your time and energy are best spent in playfulness. That is the most enjoyable piece of spiritual guidance you are probably ever going to receive, so relish in it. Don't wait another moment before you get your celebratory vibe on. Confetti also brings you a message that if you want more success, happiness, and celebration in your life, you can enhance that right now by being happy for the success of others around you. Like when you tell me how happy you are for me about, new opportunities and things that I tell you that I'm doing, that's a start. Do you know that success is like a wave? When you genuinely congratulate another and feel happiness for their happiness, your own energy field gets a jolt of that same exact energy. You attract it into your life. You deserve success for all you've accomplished just as much as anyone else. So be happy for someone else, even if a part of you wonders if there's enough to go around. If maybe they've taken your piece of the pie, or if you wonder if their success is really deserved. Like someone getting a promotion because, I don't know, they were sleeping with someone in the company and you were passed up for it, even though you were waiting for 2 years. You know what I mean? And you're like, that person doesn't deserve it. But you know what? Be happy for them that no matter how they got there, and know that something better is coming in for you. I don't know why that came to my head. You might, oh, no, wrong one. Let such thoughts be without adding to their power by either being embarrassed about those kinds of thoughts, thinking someone else is undeserving, trying to pretend they don't exist, or feeling that you're a bad person for thinking in such a way. Just take charge and choose how you want to respond to someone else's victory. Maybe you can even respond to your own doubts by saying, this person is having their turn, which means my turn is coming even sooner. Be happy for them and be happy for you, and enjoy this oracle, which lets you know that the universe is giving you a notice of a party and you are most definitely meant to attend, and it's heading your way. Nut slap, great things coming in for you. I think the spark of it, like it's already been sparked, is the only way I can kind of explain what I'm seeing. So it's like week after week over the next, I'd say, month or two, you're going to get these like little inklings of something big is coming, something amazing, something wonderful, something, I wouldn't want to say unexpected, because I feel like it is something you've been working hard toward, but you may not realize it's what you're working toward. Like you may have one specific goal in mind that you're working toward, whether it be, a romantic relationship or, a new job opportunity or something like that. The universe is going to blow your mind by giving you something 10 times better all at once. And you're like, wow, where did this come from? It came from your hard work. It came from the change in your spirit and how you react to, deal with, and relate to other people. So you're on the right path to get everything that you're trying to manifest. You just have to continue without getting down on yourself or feeling like, you've got bad luck. I hate when people say bad luck. Yeah, it does seem like it is going pretty slow. It's like it keeps stopping, and then going again.
Okay,
There's a lot of.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of like bad weather. Like I know here, it's not snowing or anything, but it snowed overnight last night. So I don't know why it's so wonky.
Yeah, everything's wonky.
Oh, and Edna, okay, have a great night, and thank you so much. And hopefully, if you're able to make it tomorrow, we'll be here 8 to 10 Eastern. And if you ever want to come on, you're more than welcome. Email or text me, babe.
Okay, one quick before we go to
Sure.
Darling Deb. Hey, Smoochie, did I skip you? Did we do Smoochie? We did. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I saw that.
Sun in Leo.
Okay, yeah, because my chat's messing up too.
It's okay.
It's really weird. Okay, Darling Deb.
Darling Deb.
Good night,
Darling
Aunt,
Deb.
and
Darling Deb, I'm going to use the Lantern Oracle for you. I knew I pulled this deck out for one. I usually only use it once a night. We haven't had, Spirit, please. We haven't had any except for a tiny dusting last night overnight that we weren't going to get. And we've been extremely, in my opinion, lucky because I call it boot ruining snow and you just can't do anything. I think it stems from my addiction. Like I had to go out and like hustle and get my stuff, no matter if it was a blizzard or a state of emergency. That's actually how Ray kind of swept me off my feet. I had met him once and he had given me like a ride home. And then it was a state of emergency blizzard and we weren't supposed to be out, but he knew I would be out. So he drove 45 minutes and left a note on my door and was like, hey, it's Ray the mechanic. Do you need anything? And he took me for food and he took me to CVS because I needed toothpaste. And then he gave me money. And I was like, oh. And I always remembered that. I was like, you drove in a state of emergency. I've now come to realize that he had to go work anyway that day. And he worked like 3 blocks from me.
Tow truck drivers get a kind of a pass on it, especially if he's driving his tow truck. So he was good no matter what.
He's not a tow truck driver.
But was he driving a tow truck?
I don't know. I don't remember. No, I don't think he was driving a tow truck.
Okay.
I know that he had to go to work anyway.
Okay.
But either way, it was cool that he thought of me, that he taped a note to my doorstep. Worked out well for me that day. But I just hate snow, and I think it's ingrained in me for that reason of like, I was like, oh man, now I got to trudge through the dang snow too, on top of everything else. Oh, okay, darling Deb, you got the card of misalignment, card number 17. Miracles become normal once we face all of the aspects of our life in the same direction. What is possible expands beyond our capacity to imagine when we attune our lives to what makes our spirit self sing. It can be challenging to commit to whatever it takes to align all aspects of our life with our bliss. Often we are met with obstacles such as fear, conflicting expectations from others and society, the need for ongoing discipline, the upheaval of releasing from our life all that is not aligned, and determining how to make our life sustainable once we surrender it all to the bliss of living our truth. The process of wholly aligning and integrating ourselves can feel like too much. We may be unwilling to take on the effort, risk, and loss from what this process involves. This is totally understandable. So is wanting to do it sporadically or all at once. The ball is always in your court with this. Therefore, the importance of this card is in its reminder that you always have the choice to turn toward rather than away from your own personal alignment. Even if you take it one nuanced facet at a time, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant the detail, it matters and will make all the difference to you. Regardless of what you choose, it is always beneficial to be aware of where you are misaligned. A way to do this is first to identify where you are aligned. Place the hand that you write with on your heart and ask, what do I unconditionally love about my life? Write the answer in your journal. Repeat this process with the question, which experiences, environments, people, and activities give me the greatest fulfillment? If your answers are taken from your past, include why they're now absent. Alternatively, your list may consist of how you would like your life to be. If so, be sure to include the reasons your life is not this way in present. This is typical shadow work. Gently proceed to write with compassion where exactly you and certain aspects of your life feel uncomfortable, forced, outgrown, or in some way misaligned. Unpack whether these areas have become part of your life from fear-based choices and thinking or from having comprised your truth, core values, or integrity in some way that you did not realize at the time. Perhaps you would have done things differently if the circumstances had been different. For example, it may have felt possible to choose otherwise if at the time you had made yourself a priority or felt a stronger sense of confidence, self-worth, or self-love. Or maybe with sufficient funds or the support, belief, and guidance that you needed from others, more preferable choices would have been available or made known to you. If any or all of these factors resonate, know that you're not alone. Take a moment to extend compassionate consideration, love, and honor to your former self's predicament and limitations. Be at peace and in acceptance of having done your best at the time. Had you known any better, you would have chosen and done better. Now return your hand to its place on your heart and ask Spirit Self what you can do to initiate a loving step toward aligning one detail of your life with your truth. Write down the answer. When you're ready, decide whether to act accordingly. You may wish to repeat this journal exercise each time you seek clarity on the next aligned step available for you to take and whether or not to take it. Mother's message, regardless of how misaligned things may seem, alignment is only ever a choice or action away. Trust that spirit self will more than meet you halfway in supporting you through each aligned step that you choose to take. So, you can do the journaling exercise. You can rewind this and slow it down and do that. But this is typical shadow work, understanding that if we all could go back to being 8 years old, having the knowledge we have now, we would all do way better, right? I can't say all of us, most of us would take the knowledge we've since learned and go back to being 8 years old and kick butt, right? We would be like the most spiritually aligned people that ever existed. Unfortunately, we can't do that. And darling Deb, I do feel there's some regrets, guilt, shame, fear. Like something about your past is going to be exposed, or you're regretting something terribly. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of an idea that someone may be putting this on you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will soon. It's going to be coming in. And I'm sorry for that, for someone coming in and being like, well, like for my example, okay, well, you were a junkie 5 years ago. So, and that's meant to make me feel shame or guilt. I don't feel any of that because I know that that part of my life led me to the part where I'm at now. And my life, for the most part, is amazing. Look at all of the things around you that you've accomplished. Look at them through the lens of, where you were maybe 10 years ago, where you were at your darkest moment. Look at how far you've come now. Offer forgiveness to people who, genuine forgiveness though. So maybe something you have to work on. You may be withholding forgiveness from someone, something to do with like your childhood or like your early or late teen years, somewhere around there. They don't have to know you forgive them. You don't even have to say it out loud. Just come to terms with the fact that it happened. It can't be changed. And a little part of it made you who you are today. If you're looking to manifest something, all you have to do is start manifesting it and start vibrating at that frequency. And I know that sounds really simplistic, right? And watered down, but it's actually not. Start a manifestation journal. There's like $7 on Amazon. I'm a badass woman and I get what I want. Want is crossed out and manifest is put in its place. That's the one I use. I've been using it for years. Every time I stop doing the manifestation exercises, my stuff stops coming in. Every time I start, bam, 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 I start getting things, abundance, blessing over and over again. Remember that as a human being, your birthright is abundance. Do not let your past define you. Do not allow your past to haunt you. And I am kind of getting a lot of this. And I know this is a long reading, but this is a really important message for darling Deb to hear. So once we start becoming more spiritually aware, once we start becoming the best versions of ourselves, you can look at this as a positive thing, because this is when all of those things from our past start coming up, because we're hyper aware of things like that. But instead of looking at it as, I can't believe I did that, look at it as, wow, I can't believe I did that. I would never do something like that now because I'm in this amazing and incredible space. You've got a lot of shadow work to do and you've got a lot of healing, but we all do. None of that should be able to block your manifesting. Okay. Law of attraction, law of abundance, vibrating in the frequency of already having what you want. That's why my main manifestation is money and success come to me quickly, easily, and effortlessly. I'm not saying money and success will come to me, or I want money and success to come to me. Money and success come to me. Love and happiness. What's the other one I do? Money and success, love and happiness, and wealth and abundance come to me quickly, easily, and effortlessly. I'm telling the universe it's already happening. And guess what? After a day or two of this, it really does start happening. I can attest to it. And yes, if you guys, I sent Mike the manifestation journal that I was talking about. I'm a grown ass man and I get what I want / manifest. So, don't focus on the negatives of your past. And if you need to, focus on them in the most positive way possible. Look back on the lessons that you've learned. Look back on how they shaped you to be to where you are now. There's always a lesson to be learned, even in the darkest of times. Time is flying by tonight. We're having, we started off a little, I don't know what the energy was, but again, living in a haunted house, it's like wonky. And, but I don't let it stop me. I just tell them like, dude, go chill in the attic until I get back. Steve Garrett. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm going to be checking back in with you next Tuesday or Thursday before I send you your box. So when I text you, we could meet face to face again, and then I'll get some stuff to send out to you. You were amazing. I love how you opened up and you just kind of let it all out. And I had a really nice time. That was awesome. So thank you for the support. And yeah, it's nice to have a new member of the tribe.
Okay, Richard Elmore.
And Mike Roberts, you know what? It doesn't matter how slowly or how quickly you're moving, honey. The fact that you're moving forward is what matters. Take it one day at a time, one foot in front of the other. You know, we can only do what we can do. You don't want to overwhelm yourself or your spirit either, but you have to feed your soul. You know, you can't just do things that are physically pleasing, right? Or that are going to help expand your physical life. So that are going to help you get ahead at work, or that are going to help you, you know, make your spouse or significant other happy. You have to feed your soul. You have to be in nature. You really should have at least one crystal around you, doing shadow work, you know, manifesting, going for a walk. We have to feed our soul, guys. We can't just worry about the physical all the time. And that's really hard to do, especially, and I'm not making any kind of political statement, you guys know that, but with the state the world is in these days, it's hard not to focus on like, oh my gosh, like I'm paying $8 for 18 eggs. How am I going to cook dinner next month for my 5 kids? You know, like things like that. But we have to stop and start feeding our soul. Richard Elmore. I'm going to use the new one, the earthly soul and spirits. Andrew and Gnomes, amen. Definitely. Andrew and Gnomes said, it took me 11 years to get where I'm at with my abilities, Mike Roberts, and everything else fell into place. And that's another thing. If you guys are which a lot of us are dealing with abilities other than being an empath. I mean, being an empath is hard enough. But if you're dealing with abilities other than being an empath on top of everything else, you could feel even more alone and isolated unless you have someone that you trust that will guide you. And honestly, that's what I try to do for these readings. I mean, obviously, I can't take the weight of the world on my shoulders, but I can help in this small way. And I hope that I do bring you guys positivity and hope and, you know, that you always leave here feeling better than when you came in. And if I can accomplish that every week, that's good enough for me. Paranormal Pixie, it's a lifelong learning experience to work with our abilities. Just like I always say when I speak to people in like rehabs or detoxes, I'll say it's a lifelong journey with no final destination. Recovery, but it's also spirituality, becoming spiritually aligned, working with abilities, because as soon as you master one thing, the next thing comes out of the woodwork, and you know, our 3-dimensional problems. And most of us aren't even from here. That's why when we meet others like ourselves, we're like, ooh, someone that's from the same place I'm from, you know, or at least some, you know, distant galaxy somewhere, you know. Mike Roberts, you know, it depends on how much work you put into it. You have to take it as quickly or as slowly as you feel that you can. You know, start off trying to be quick. And if you feel overwhelmed or feel like you're not understanding something, you know, you can always text me. I mean, I've been super duper busy. I have not even had time to talk to anybody, but I do try to get back, even if it's just a quick, like, hey, how are you? Or reach out to someone, you know, or then maybe that's a sign that you should slow down and take it a little bit slower. Okay. Richard, you got nature. Don't have to be intuitive to know what this one is going to say. Look at that. Nature is right next to nurture. But in every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. Let me take a puff, guys. Sorry. Richard, gifts, wonders, home. Return yourself back to nature. Unleash and detach from this electronic world to reconnect with the earth and everything she has to offer. Heighten your senses and be in tune with the infinite layers of the universe. Explore the endless wonders of this world, the lunar and solar eclipses, shooting stars, the changing of the seasons, The transformation of a butterfly shedding its cocoon, the air moving in and out of your lungs, the sea's tides, the moon's phases, the food and healing herbs growing from the earth's soil. Retreat back to your childhood and reminisce about how awe-inspiring nature in the great outdoors was to you back then. Capture and harness all of this magic once again. Remember that you are one with Mother Nature. Let yourself marvel at all of her wondrous gifts. Intention, feel the earth's heartbeat. Tune into the ebb and flow of her energy. Synchronize yourself with Mother Nature's rhythm. So, Richard, what I would say is, hi, Deirdre, get back to nature. And again, nature doesn't have to be the woods. Nature can just simply be your backyard under the moonlight, you know? If you know a grounding exercise, I would recommend that. I feel like things could be getting like next level frustrating for you this week. And the one thing you can do to kind of mend that or slow that down a little bit and not have it affect your spirit as much is to just simply go for a walk. Breathe the fresh air in, be mindful of, you know, the birds chirping and the squirrels running or whatever the wildlife is around you, you know. And this is a pretty simple and short message, but it's an action message, which I normally don't get. Like, the universe is literally telling you to, at the very least, go for a walk, at the very least, sit in your backyard or your front yard. I'm getting an emphasis on moonlight. So if you live in a safe enough neighborhood, go for a walk at nighttime. If not, spend at least, I always say 12 to 15 minutes are the magic numbers. Okay. So spend at least 12 to 15 minutes where you're just outside breathing in the air and just being cognizant of the sounds around you. I would do this alone. And you should get like some answers. And if not like literal answers, you should at least get some feelings of relief and satisfaction. Blue Crossroads. My backyard used to be nature too. But I plan one day in the next 10 years to have my front yard be the sea.
Vixen Doe.
Vixen Doe, and then Jules. Vixen Doe, I'm going to use the Wonderland Oracle for you. Oh, Salvador, thank you. You're so welcome. And have a great night yourself. Richard Elmore says, it's what I've been feeling. Need to get out in the country. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Try to look at the nature that you get out into through a spiritual lens. When we can try to, even if we have to force ourselves to think of everything on an eternal level, okay, how it's going to help our soul progress rather than on a physical level. Yeah, I can make the most money now, but I have to lie and cheat people out of their life savings. Well, you can do that and you can live really well. But it's going to come at a cost as far as your soul is concerned. I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just giving that as a general example. Vixen Doe, you got the card of nonsense. Yes, grounding on the grass with bare feet. Yes, I love you guys. Andrew, card number 28, Vixen. It's time to talk sense. The queen turned crimson with fury, and after glaring at her for a moment like a wild beast, began screaming, "Off with her head! Off with nonsense!" said Alice very loudly and decidedly, and the queen went silent. Sometimes, like Alice, you are going to surprise yourself with your own courage. When someone is being aggressive and threatening, you will need to stand up to them and speak to them in a very firm and strong manner, much as Alice does to the queen, who is overly fond of abusing her power, threatening nearly everybody, and relating to people in only one way: overbearance. If this is taking place with a person or situation within your life, you need to call that someone out on their bad behavior. Like Alice, you do not need to say very much or criticize the person, argue with them, or even point out what they're doing. You simply need to be firm, clear, and direct and cut through all the nonsense that is taking place. If you do this, you will silence them and they can do you no harm. They will be surprised that someone is expressing their personal power and pointing out their silliness, that you'll be quite safe. Others will be grateful, and in time, they too will stand up for themselves because of your example. Even though you may not be as quote unquote powerful as this other person, your inner courage, when expressed, makes you an amazing person who can change the world with the simple refusal to tolerate bad behavior for a single second longer. Divination, courageously standing up for yourself when someone is behaving in a way that is silly or unfair, refusing to be cowed, pointing out a person's bad behavior, not backing down on the truth, looking someone in the eye, being very brave, strong, and no longer intimidated, surprising yourself with your own power. Vixen Doe, this has been like a progression, right, with you from several months ago, maybe even longer than that, where you've been stepping into your power little by little and putting up boundaries and sticking by them. And now you're to the point of refusing to reward bad behavior. And what I mean by reward is, like, I will say to a certain someone when we're arguing, they'll be like, did you just hang up on me? Or, you know, why aren't you responding? And it's like, I refuse to reward that kind of behavior. Rewarding that behavior with response, right? Because some people are just looking to get the best of you. What do I always call this? Stepping outside of yourself. They want to pull you outside of who you are as a spirit, as a soul, as a human being, which is a good, kind, loving, perfect being, completely at one and totally aligned with the universe, whether you feel that way or not, right? They want you to be aggressive, angry, fight back with them so they can look and say, see how you treat me? Or you're just as bad as I am. You're dealing with a narcissist or several in your case, and I feel bad for you. But heed this advice. Continue the way you've been going and refuse to accept this bad behavior. I think it was last week or the week before we talked about someone possibly trying to come back in and, you know, I've changed. I'm really sorry. You know, we have history or whatever, however they're trying to manipulate you, and you may be tempted to take them back. They're going to show their true colors, whether you took them back or you didn't. It's going to be like now they're tired of pretending to be a good person and they're going to start getting pissed, and you have a choice to make. Are you going to argue back and become lower than who and what you really are? Stoop to their level, I guess you can call it. Or are you going to stand in your power and just walk away? Just walk away. Be the bigger person. I hate that that's so cliche, but that literally is what this card is about. Let them know they got the wrong one. Not this time. Jules is next, I believe he said.
Yes. I'm sorry, I was trying to, my nose.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get the, there's like almost none left and the straw won't reach it. Okay. Miss Jules. Let's use the shapeshifter. Stephen, I'm going to read for you with the Halloween Oracle at the end. That popped in. I don't know why.
Me?
Yes.
Why?
What did I do? My hair, bro. I don't know, because it just came to my mind that I should.
Okay.
Yay, and for once I don't got to go because my phone's dying. Let's get her done. Oh, there it is. Wild. Once upon a midnight dreary, as I pondered, weak and weary. Once upon a midnight dreary, card number 31, creativity, genius, writing, expression, and artistic flow. Yes.
Mike manifested getting a new phone. Mike manifest.
About Once Upon a Midnight Dreary. Jules, ravens are omens, and here they are omens of your own creativity. They will fly about under moonlight, entering your dreams, speaking to you the words you may have been searching for, dropping toward you with a harsh voice that asks you to weave magic now. The best times for this act are the in-between times, the times that are ambiguous, paradoxical, and magical. Now, we talk about magic with a K, guys, because magic with a C would be like stage magic, okay? That's the difference. People have been asking me. Lookum spookum, hey! People who wish you to pursue a sensible path may feel some concern, but it is far less healthy for you to stop listening to the voice of the divine. The ravens speak of law, and at this time, the law says you must let the words flow, let the images appear, let the song be sung, or let the dance be moved through. Do not think this creativity out. Let it come to you as it will. You are not a pure vessel for spirit, no, but you are a being connecting with the creative divine. And in doing so, you are contributing something soulful and magical to a world that becomes more and more mechanical and dead under the yoke of logic. You will liberate us all and teach us through the power of your own imagination. Once upon a midnight dreary speaks, you have at present a wonderful and clear connection to the divine. And so the sacred is speaking through you. It may be through your hands, and a painting may come. Through the air, a poem may thunder toward you, and it is your role at this time to write it down. Because the creative joy and impulse is not yours, it doesn't belong to you, but it must be caught for a time, brought through into this world via your body, and brought to life in this world by your work and holy acts. You are a creative being, and not only does this mean working with the creative genius, the muse, the daemon all about you, it means sweat, strain, and hard work for a time. It means you will turn up for when the muse seems aloof. You will never recreate the divine perfectly on paper, but you will bring through something of its essence. You must know this is not you. And when people say it is your writing or your work that they admire, know it is your dedication to the divine that has brought it through. Can I just say, this is like me always saying, guys, it's not me. It's spirit. Or, the universe, it's spirit and the universe, guides. It's all of the ethereal magicians bringing it through to you guys, your spirit teams, spirit in general. Okay, that's what this is saying. Don't take credit for it. Let everyone know who the muse is and how these ideas came to you, whatever they may be. Speak the words of the poet, sing the song, paint the images previously unseen by human eyes. Walk between worlds, but keep one foot here always so we can bring you back to create once again safely. Divination, it is time to shape your dreams into reality, Jules. Start that book and keep going. Paint that picture and then another and another. Capture the divine moment in inspiration and then by hard work, show up and sweat until it is shaped and completed. You are engaging in sacred magic with a K. You are being asked by the spirits of the world and the laws of the raven and the bright full moonlit magic to contribute creatively, to be touched by the spirit of inspiration. This may not make you rich or well known or even happy, but it will satisfy a deep urge, a craving, a thirst within you. Take steps now to become a crafter of magic through creativity. You are being told that it is the law that you do so and that you complete the work. Work hard, learn about yourself, and capture the divine moment for all of our sakes. Jules, we were talking about this urgency, right? This urgency that you have, that you feel like, and we talked about, and I'm only going to say a little bit, I promise, of how it's your soul trying to get to its journey, trying to figure out what your light worker status is and where you fit in all of this, and how you're going to help the collective. I don't know what kind of art it's going to be, painting, song, dance, just simply writing, but it's coming in for you. I don't know if it's the next week or two. I'm seeing more like month, but I think the ideas are starting to flow and it's going to take a little while for you to get up the courage. I'd say the sooner the better. You're being divinely inspired to do something. And whatever this is, as long as you don't take full credit for it, you can take some credit for it. If I wasn't live streaming and giving this platform, then, I wouldn't be bringing spirit. You can kind of do it in a roundabout way. But for the most part, you let people know that you're just a vessel for the divine. That could pull some people into understanding how to, align themselves spiritually. There is a lot, Jules, here that is going to come from these creative sparks, okay? But you have to accept them and accept that they're real. If you wake up in the middle of the night and get an urge to start writing, don't be like, oh, I must have had a bad dream or that's stupid. Do it. And do it until the feeling passes. That was for Jules.
Yes. Okay, Blue Crossroads, and he's here. He's got a doggy laying on his lap. He can't go nowhere.
Aww. You know who hasn't been here and who I haven't spoken to in a while? He didn't even come in for his monthly reading with me, his monthly personal. He's been for like over a year, Larry.
Yeah, I've been kind of wondering what's going on.
Larry was my first ever client, and he and I got to know each other really well. And every month he sends me $50, which is more than what I asked for. And every month he thanks me for the reading, but he didn't send this month. But he did say he was having issues with his phone, but he texted me from his phone to tell me he was having the issues. And he's been in here since. So I don't know, but he's on a really amazing journey. I would love for him to come speak sometime. I think we had him.
We had him on. He
on
would be
one.
great. Yeah.
I might reach out to him. I don't like to bother him. He's one of those people that when he goes into hermiting, I notice he's like me. It's not that he's like bothered, but like he's just so focused on other things that like he doesn't have much to give, which is always okay, guys. As long as people, that's not selfish to want to just focus on, your spiritual growth, because eventually that will lead us to helping the collective and helping others. Just stay kind, offer love and grace, guys. That's the best we can all do. I have more high strangeness coming on Monday morning, guys. Yeah, Nutslap is pretty funny. He can always be counted on for a laugh. And his mom makes amazing oatmeal cookies. Vixen Joe, that's actually a really great idea. I don't mean to cut into your conversation, but Vixen Joe said, when I get out to the res, I'm going to see if I can consult with a medicine person, Andrew and him Trucking Express. So guys, if you have the opportunity to seek out a spiritual healer, whether it be a shaman, even a Reiki master, okay, we should always be seeking to do that. I would go so far and be so bold, and I don't even get to do this myself, to say once a month. But if you do it like twice a year, even, you've got to get that energetic stuff cleared out. That's something that I can do to a very small degree remotely. And I can send you things to help you do it yourself by following a guided video or my instruction. But there's something about going and seeing someone who has dedicated their life to energetic and physical healing, removing. I have to go and get several attachments removed and cords cut, but I cannot find anyone to do it in my area. Or that doesn't cost $500, for 10 minutes. All right, Blue Crossroads, you got transgression, flaws, contradictions, mistake, card number 41. Come on. There you are. The vampires speak. Les vampires speak. There are many in this world, vampire and human, fairy and otherworldly creature, who seem to delight in the faults of others, using them as a way of proving their own worth. See, they point out, you are worse than I. And could there be any worse than the killing of a sacred animal, the unicorn, now mourned so deeply by this little vampire? This is false glory, and disturbing to all of us who live long lives, to see so many worry that they have sinned and hurt others and cannot be forgiven, and to see others glory in the guilt they use to manipulate and feel righteous. The most perfected souls upon this planet have all created moments in their lives when they have gone against their own values and their own hearts, their own souls, and transgressed. They have hurt themselves as they have hurt others. And so when you see this card and wonder what it is you have done wrong, know it is this. It is incorrect of you to assume that your faults and flaws, your poor decisions, and yes, the mistakes you have made are more ghastly than any other. There is not one amongst any of us who has not done anything wrong. And it is good that we vampires and you humans can feel remorse and take steps to correct ourselves and do better. But what we witness from here is that you are being told again and again by either an abusive other or your own abusive part of yourself that you are guilty, you are wrong, and you can never be forgiven. You must now take steps to correct what can be corrected, apologize clearly and once if this is the right thing for you to do, and then forgive yourself. To continually internally erode your own value due to another's encouragement is a false kind of virtue. There is no good in hurting yourself over and over to prove how sorry you are. Live better, do better, but let the self-punishment go and do not allow another to utilize your compassionate remorse to their own end. Yes, that is exactly what they're doing. We are all human and otherworldly creature going to transgress against the natural laws and the laws of our own souls. What we do about it is what matters. Go on now and make amends, then give thanks for the gift of self-forgiveness. Blessing. When we go against our integrity, our soul will let us know. And if we continue to deny that inner voice, the universe will show us what we're doing wrong. Curse, crowding out your inner voice, continuing down a path that we know is against the truth of our soul and breaking universal laws. Working with this card, make amends, take stock, assess, and redirect, and come back into harmony with the voice of your soul. I feel like you may be punishing yourself mentally for something. Either that and or you're like looking back on things that you may have done that you wish you had done differently, things maybe that you wish you had said that you didn't, things like that. And none of us can go back and, you know, turn back the hands of time and change Blue Crossroads. And I know you have a super awesome career, and I actually get jelly of it when I think about like how awesome I would have been working for the FBI. But I feel like maybe there are things, you mentioned it before, where you had to do on the job that now you're like, oof, I wonder if I lost pieces of my soul. I mean, you said that directly. So, and that was like a week or two ago. So you, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, where you may be over analyzing things that you either did in the line of duty or things that went unsaid. The universe is saying, get it all out. Even if you have to speak it to yourself or write it down, then burn that paper or sage that space that you spoke it in. It's time to move on, to understand that you're forgiven by the universe. If it's God you're looking for forgiveness for, you're forgiven. If it's someone in spirit or spirit in general, you're forgiven. Your guides, your angels. Nobody is holding this against you except you. And if anyone is holding any of this against you, you need to really ask yourself why they're doing this. Why would they be bringing this up? It does no one any good to make you feel like poop about yourself. I don't think it's gotten to that point yet, but I do think you're doing it to yourself a lot lately. And the universe is like, bro, snap out of it. Like, don't, like, let's move on from this and continue becoming a better spiritual being, a better human being, a better person all around, and learn from the mistakes and the missteps and do better next time. Mike, you do have a job where you're actually doing something. Everyone contributes. It doesn't matter. The people selling oranges on the side of the road, are helping. They're helping in some way, right? To bring Mother Nature to people. I don't know. Everyone has their purpose. And if you feel like your job is out of alignment with your purpose, it's time to manifest something better. That's where the law of attraction comes in. Yes. Lara, talk to you the way you would talk to a friend in need. And I say something similar a lot when I tell you guys to give yourself the advice you would give a child, one of your kids, or your best friend, or someone you love very much. Give that advice to yourself and then take it. Whatever situation you guys are in, take a step back and imagine that the person you love most in the world was going through that same situation. What advice would you give them? And why? And once you figure that out, take the advice for yourself. Who's next?
The Bat Mom.
Deb, you're right. They're helping us eat local fruit. They're helping us eat healthily. They're busting their butts. Maybe that's not in their, divine plan, or they're not, becoming more in divine alignment, but they're out there, they're working, and they're doing their human job. They're living the human experience. Okay. That's my point. Everybody is here for a reason. And sometimes our humanity gets in the way. We're like, we have to work jobs that we feel are dead end, or that we feel aren't good enough, or that we feel we can do better. But then we should go out and start doing better. And I know it's easier said than done, but we have to start somewhere, right? We have to take the first step before we can take the second. Say it again, Ghost Dragons.
The Bat Mom. Hi, Bat Mom. What are you doing, Bat Mom? Are you having a good night?
Now it's getting creepy. Now it's getting creepy.
It was meant to.
You weirdo. Bat Mom, let's use heal it yourself. I feel like my lips are peeling. That's why. She said, Deirdre said, I know it sounded cool. Mike, I feel that very, very much. I had my first son when I was 16 years old. I get it. But it's time to, if you feel like you're not doing what you were meant to do, then maybe look at doing something different. And again, that doesn't mean quit your job and have no income, but started off as a, my writing started off as a hobby. I was just helping out a friend's channel for a couple of bucks, and now I'm a best-selling author and working on my 4th book and other writing projects that are incredibly lucrative. Speaking of lucrative, guys, don't forget that your donations in the super chat and super stickers are my full pay at the end of the month. And anything you donate through PayPal and Cash App, YouTube does not take 49% of. All right. The Batmom. Wild. Ah, my nose. Here we go. Card number 15, girl. There is a wild, untamed spirit inside of you, desperate to be unleashed. Free it and claim the gifts of energy, power, passion, and creativity it offers you. Through suppressing your wild, succulent, outrageous, and untamed self, you dull your senses and crush your creativity. You shrink, lose your energy, and become depressed. Your relationships suffer, and your rage will grow. You become ashamed, hostile, cold, boring, overserious, and fearful. You stop taking chances and live in mediocrity, constantly trying to protect yourself. The truth is that no one can judge you, punish you, or hurt you as much as you can. Blue Crossroads, same to you. Same to all of you. Give in to your wildness and stop living a sham. This part of you is sensual, provocative. Deirdre, thank you, honey. Truthful, courageous, bold, passionate, and alive. Set it free. Girl, what is it that you are holding back? Thank you, Deirdre. What is it that you desperately want to do, but you're like, I can't do that. That's not a good idea. So-and-so wouldn't like it. It would make me look bad. Or what is it? There's something that you're yearning to do that you are holding yourself back from. And if you don't know what it is, the other option here of what I'm seeing is that in the next week or two, an opportunity to do something wild and fun and totally freeing is going to present itself to you. And the universe is telling you, do not turn this opportunity down, because not only are you going to finally get to do something wild and fun and freeing, it's going to bring opportunity for spiritual advancement in the long run. You're not going to see it right away. Okay? Get out there, have some fun, wild, obviously not dangerous or illegal, but go and have some fun. Do what you love to do. Take time for yourself. I love to sing karaoke. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. And I should take myself out. I don't drink, but I should take myself out and sit at a bar and drink my pineapple juice and sing karaoke to my heart's content. That's what I should do. So what should you do? You're going to get the opportunity in the next week or two. Ooh, the Billy Idol concert.
Why wedding, man? Why wedding? Okay.
I like his song Rebel Yell is my favorite.
Damien's, that was a...
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say...
Damien's father used to sing it at karaoke. He hated karaoke, but he would sing it for me because I loved it.
When I had my wife here in the day, Billy Idol was my man because I had it spiked, and we used to make, when we hit the bars, nice. We used to make them all play White Wedding and Rebel Yell, and I'd get in the middle of the floor and do my Billy Idol thing. The days.
Like Roberts, that's the point. He said, I love to sing, but I'm the only one who loves it. It doesn't matter. Sing to your heart's content, then they can deal.
Yep.
Jules, have a good night, sweetie. Get some rest, and I will touch base with you tomorrow and hopefully get that 15-minute video in around 7 Eastern, okay? That way I can mail everything out Friday or at the latest Monday. As far as Batmom, Steven, and Donna, your boxes are being mailed out tomorrow. Buttload of blessings. All right, Miss Pixie. Oh, yeah, Dancing with Myself. So let's...
Well, didn't I used to kind of sneak in your chat at the beginning and start writing the lyrics to that?
I don't know.
Yes. You never
I have a hard time reading. I have a hard time keeping up.
Oh, I know. This was before...
I love dancing. I don't know if I'm good at it because I just do it. I used to get drunk and dance, but I do a lot of yoga and I love yoga. So I can imagine that I would probably love dancing sober if I got back into it. But that's the thing. Like what matters is that it makes you If it makes you feel good and it's not illegal or hurting anyone or dangerous, you should always do it. No, I did not. So that's why you didn't get a text from me. You can email me or text me. As long as you identify yourself, that's okay. And we can do the video chat straight through email. So that doesn't matter either. Why don't we just do this? Jules, before you leave, how about 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow? I will send you a link to your email and we can chat for about expect to be on with me for about 15, 20 minutes tops.
Hello, Monster Radio.
I love it, Monster Radio. All right, Lara. Rejoice. Rejoice. Come and lift your hands and raise your voice. Feel the mercy of your King, and with trembling rejoice. That's a church song. We rock out to that one. All right. Yeah. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. Lara, when you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. And this is like one of the first cards we pulled as well. Celebrate triumph and glory. Lara, delight in the color palette of the evening sky at sunset as the glorious sun slips below the horizon. Relish the soft pastel painted sky at dawn as the sun returns in her glory to inspire you to seize another amazing day. It's a new beginning to start fresh and bask in the miracle set forth just for you. Walk with the rhythm of the earth. Celebrate your divine glory reborn each and every day. Optimism, uplifting gestures, and positive sentiments are being offered from the universe. Look for the simple gifts in nature and in your own life that move your joy-filled spirit. All of your heightened senses will be delighted, and you will know that you are alive. Intention, rejoice with gratitude, elation, and delight for each day you are given on this enchanting, glorious earth. I feel like you already do this. I know that. But I feel like this is kind of a reassurance to you. And I feel something really, quote unquote, and for lack of a better word, lucky coming in for you in the next 2 weeks. So Lara, I feel like just keep your eyes peeled. There's a blessing in disguise. It could have to do with money, but I'm not really so sure. I'm hearing inheritance, which doesn't mean someone's going to die and leave you money. Inheritance just means like something, a treasure found, right? In Oracle, inheritance is a treasure found. So you may find something, walking in the woods, or something maybe, dropped in your front yard. There's something here that if you're being positive throughout the day and really looking forward to seizing the day, that you are going to just find this, I don't want to say lost treasure, this found treasure. It's kind of going to drop into your lap, and it may be something that really changes your perspective on something or helps you in some way. Just keep it positive. It's a very simple message this week.
Okay, that was Laura, right?
Lara, yes.
Okay. Mike Roberts.
Mike, let's use the wisdom of the House of Night. Good. Blue Crossroads. Oh. Michael, you got Grove. Card number 21. I, Nyx, the goddess of night, invite you to my grove to heal your wounds and mend your heart. Paranormal pixie. Now is the time to apologize to anyone you have harmed, make your friendships whole again, and choose healing over anger and pain. Choosing my beautiful grove is a powerful sign that you are at a wondrous and strong time in your life. Show compassion and kindness to others. No one is perfect, yet imperfection is perfect as it gets. If you are hurting, know that this will pass and that I watch over you. If someone you love is hurting, take the time to be there for them. The sacred grove heals all aches and pains, especially a heart that has been wounded. Mike, it's time to take a step back, okay, and start counting your blessings, like literally out loud or writing them down. Wake up in the morning. What are 3 things you're grateful for? And I know this is homework, but I want you to do it. do it. Okay. It's not me. The universe wants you to do it, but Gemma, your friend, would give you the same advice. All right. Really, oh, Lara, thank you so much. Guys, you are so sweet, and I appreciate every single donation, and I appreciate those of you that spend your time in here. You guys know that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a timeout, Mike, but it's not. So that's why I'm trying to kind of see what's going on here. I feel like there's a certain situation, relationship, or person, situation, or relationship that you really need to take a step back from and kind of reevaluate. I feel like it's not good for you, but I don't think it's something that has to necessarily end long term, but you need a break from this person or situation. If it's something like your job and you can't take a break, then on your day off, ground yourself, do as much as you can for your spiritual health. Your spiritual health is what's suffering here, which is why you're in so much pain. Probably feeling lonely, isolated, stuck, stagnant, stale. The reason is because you're not in spiritual alignment. You are focusing too much on what you lack. You're focusing too much on the negative. This is so easy to do. Okay. So there's no, again, indictment or judgment, but the universe is calling you back and saying, if you had just, stayed the course a little bit longer, you'd be in a much different place right now. And again, that's not lashing you. That's just saying, like, why not give it a try? Take a step back, take a break from who or whatever this is, no matter what the cost is, though. It doesn't matter if the other person gets mad or doesn't understand. They don't have to. This is for you, for your spiritual growth. And it's also the universe testing kind of your tenacity to see if you're willing to follow its advice, or if you're just going to go ahead and people please and worry more about this other person's feelings than your own spiritual growth. Who's next?
Nick Y. I want to make sure I get the time on that. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nick is Urban Crow. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Gemma ADD. I think a lot of us are like that, even if we're not like literally ADD, like me, like I'm rambling, I'm off on tangents, I'm here or there, because we have so much that we're focusing on that we don't even realize we are. Like the downloads we get from spirit or even from extraterrestrials, guys, let's be real. They come around too. Okay. Yes, Mike, there you go. If I stayed the course, had I stayed the course, I'd probably be happy. Time for Mike to think about Mike. Right. And you don't have to be mean or crass or rude. But don't ghost anyone. Just tell them, I need a break. I need some space. Mind over matter. Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. If someone's going to be upset with you because you need some space to clear your mind, then maybe you should really be reevaluating that situation, because it's perfectly normal and acceptable for a human being to need space every once in a while. If I don't get at least a day to myself every single week, at least, I am like literally a rabid dog, because I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I can barely connect. It's bad. So Nick Y, you got card number 17, the card of exposed, okay? And that is the Urban Crow. Alone and unprotected, the fledgling is vulnerable to attack. Exposed may indicate you are being thrust into the spotlight, and potentially not in a good way, depending on the circumstances. As a result, you may feel helpless and fear possible criticism. Exposed may also point to an open and free opportunity for the taking, as there will not be much in the way of opposition. Exposed speaks to the feelings that surface as a result of being vulnerable. Are you comfortable putting yourself out there? No, you're not. What opportunities have you possibly missed because of the fear of being seen? Exposed may also present itself as a call to examine your situation more carefully, as a piece of valuable information is becoming clearer. Something or someone may expose their flaws or weaknesses, and this may prove to be beneficial information in the future. This is someone trying to use your flaws and weaknesses against you and trying to expose you. Be very careful that someone's not like pretending to be your friend and collecting information in case they get a chance to use it in the long run. Okay, you have a tendency to find yourself around sneaky, manipulative, extremely narcissistic human beings that all seem to generally be in your orbit, okay? Someone is getting close to you, whether romantically or otherwise, and they're saving every negative text. Like if you're complaining about, your daughter, and you're like, my gosh, like she's so irresponsible, this kid. This person is going to save that text and like 6 months from now, send it to your daughter and be like, look, wait, how your father talks about you. It's not going to be that, but it's like someone could be, you know, you could be like, I'm fed up. I can't deal with this crap anymore. I hate this job. My manager, Bob, is a jerk. And that person's going to take that text to manager Bob and you're going to get in trouble. Somebody is trying to manipulate information out of you in order to use it against you at a later date. Zerg the Berg, hi. How many more do we have? 3, right?
Well, 4.
Okay. That's fine.
Deirdre is next.
I'm sorry, who? Excuse me.
Deirdre. I can't.
Oh, Deirdre. I'm sorry. Deirdre. I really didn't understand you that time.
No, that's right. You probably didn't.
All right, Deirdre.
Then Lucum, and then
Andrew. I agree. I'm sorry. What?
Oh, no.
Deirdre, Lucum, Spookum, Monster Radio, and Zerg.
Right, and that's it.
I got it. All right, Miss Montez.
So you got it. I can leave now.
Revenge. Oopsie. And by the way, I'm extremely proud of you. Don't think, and I'm not going to say it out loud, but do not think that I did not see your post and that I haven't been praying for you and rooting for you. I am so freaking proud of you, Deirdre. Like, I really hope that in being so brave and so freaking amazing and kick butt, that you realize how amazing and wonderful and powerful you really are as a woman, and that you deserve so much better. And I'm just so glad you did what you did. I was cheering when I saw it on Facebook. Yeah, I got you, girl. I see you. I see you. I didn't get to come in and sign your book either last time I was there because I had to come back the next day for my script. And I'm sorry, nobody else knows what I'm talking about. I do apologize. But I was with him and I didn't want to hold him up because he was already missing work. But I'll come and see you again when I come on the Tuesday. I think it's the 20th or the 21st. It's a Tuesday again. Okay, so you got Mars in, I believe that's Scorpio. Yes, Mars in Scorpio. And it is the card of revenge, Deirdre. Mars is the old ruler of Scorpio, and those with this planet sign combination need to be faced with a real challenge to warrant putting their great energy into action. Once they believe a thing to be worthwhile, however, the amount of sheer energy they make available to achieve their aim is phenomenal. But there is a danger that this current passion of a Mars Scorpio personality can be used to bulldoze and overpower other people. The temper of people with this planet sign aspect will always be a little over the top. They never remain in the gray area in the middle when one of two extreme positions can be chosen. So this doesn't mean you are a Mars Scorpio, but it means this energy is coming in for you this week. All or nothing are Mars Scorpio personalities. They strongly invest their desires and emotional intensity in every action and make available a great deal of aggressive drive for joint ventures. Mars Scorpions have the power to transform or change almost impossible situations, and in fact may well do this several times during the course of their life. Devotedly loyal to those they choose to spend their life with, Mars Scorpio types are equally passionate in hating those who slight them in any way. In a case of don't get mad, get even. When this card is selected in a reading, extreme action is at least a possibility on the current situation. As long as one is able to use the potential in a controlled way, the outcome will be positive. A phenomenal achievement, which you just did, several of them actually. Extreme effort in order to overcome some kind of problem, getting even with someone, an over-the-top reaction to a perceived hurt. While I'm getting this is your energy because you've had so many things coming in, great achievements and accomplishments. And again, I'm so proud of you and I love you so much and I admire you. I admire your strength as a woman and as a human being. I always have. I feel like there's someone else's energy mixed in here. And I don't think it's an energy of revenge. I feel like that's a jealousy issue with someone most likely at work. Now, you may not know who this person is yet, but you might. It's like someone is always giving you side eye, but I feel like this person's like pretending to be nice to you. Don't let this person possibly gossiping behind your back or, being a little kiddish and trying to get you in trouble or whatever, deter you from accomplishing your goals and dreams, because you are laser point focused. And like, unlike me, like you say, okay, I'm going to do this. And then you go and do it like immediately you get started. Me, I'm like, I have to procrastinate for 17 years and end everything violently, don't let this thwart you or deter you. You are going places and you're doing amazing things and you're helping people. And someone who, I think it's someone who works with you. It doesn't have to be, it could be just someone in your orbit, but I feel like they're not achieving as much as quickly. And there could be some jealousy here. Okay. Also, I hate giving you this message because I've given it to you so many times before, but beware of like this charming character that is either just entered your life or is about to. I'm not saying it's not a good relationship, but there's potential here for this person to be manipulative and possibly a user. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Lukum, are you still here? Monster Radio still here, and Zerg still here, so we can finish up.
Yes, they're still here.
Okay.
I believe.
So Lukum Spookum, I'm going to use the Secret Oracle. I know Zerg is still here.
Yes. Monster's here because he said hoot.
I just don't want to be reading for people who aren't.
Right. I totally agree. Yep, they're here.
Okay. All right, Lukum, I'm using the Seeker Oracle for you. Monster Radio. Stinking up your chat. I'm loving it. I'm going to use Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. And Zerg, we're going to do the Halloween Oracle. Then Stephen, I'm going to read the Halloween Oracle for you, and then we're going to end. All right. Lukum, Made for Motion. There it is. Okay. Humans were made for motion, but our lives now keep many of us still for too many hours every day. As a consequence of living a more sedentary lifestyle, we may develop a multitude of physical and mental health issues. Our minds and bodies become inflamed and vulnerable to dis-ease and distress. The message of this dancing goddess is that you need to make time for regular movement. It doesn't have to be exercise. It's hard to work to sustain and maintain a routine exercise session if you don't enjoy it. In fact, you're more likely to give up if it's not fun, and even more likely not to do it if you feel uncomfortable or ashamed. Let go of any shame, dear soul, and know that you are divine. But it is important to love your body, and your body needs you to move and to keep it strong. If traditional exercise is something you avoid, then dance while you clean the house, work in the garden, go for a swim or a bike ride. If you're stuck in an office, try sneaking in some stretches. You can be seated and still keep your body moving. Movement can help to keep us healthy and happy. If you are feeling anxious and overwhelmed, turn on some music and dance. Get up and go for a walk, play with your pet. Put your hands in the earth. A little extra movement can help you to sleep better, can give you more energy, and improve your ability to focus. Keep your brain happy and active by keeping your body happy and active. So, Lukum, there's the obvious message here. Okay, physical movement. I don't know if you're trying to, hi, Infinite Psychosis, if you're trying to diet or if you're trying to get an exercise routine. It's always beneficial to do so. I do at least 15 minutes of yoga a day, and I try to do 15 minutes twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. I usually only get to one time. The reason I say this is because it even takes time for me too. And I know how important it is. Like, I can literally see it in my energy. But there's also something here about movement forward. There is Lukum, and the universe is getting to the point where the universe is like, okay, if you don't make a decision, we're going to throw you a tower moment, like from tarot, where everything just comes crumbling down. And you're like, wait, what just happened? Oh my God. Not making a decision is making a decision in the eyes of the universe. Okay. And the universe is going to think, or the universe doesn't think, but you know what I mean? The universe is going to be like, okay, they didn't make the decision, so they didn't learn the lesson they needed in order to quickly and reasonably make this decision. So I'm going to make it for them. And now they have to go back and restart and learn all the lessons all over again, which means more pain, more suffering, more heartache, whatever it is you're just about to come through. So please be decisive, take decisive action, make an informed and reasonable decision based on yourself. what your intuition is telling you, not the feelings of another or the feelings of others. Don't make a decision based on not wanting, to make someone cry, if they're going to be hurt over it. Don't purposely go out of your way to hurt people. Okay. There's a fine line. But if your decision is going to make someone angry, let it make them angry. That's their stuff. You have to do what you have to do for the forward movement and progress in your own life. Hey, Infinite. I'm so happy to see you. Monster Radio, we're going to do Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Okay, Monster Radio, Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. I'm still thinking of that chocolate strawberry shortcake. I'll do an extra 10 minutes of yoga tomorrow. You are so welcome, Lucum Spookum, and thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. All right, Monster Radio. Batmom, by the way, already thanked you privately, but I usually try my best to thank people publicly when they send me gifts, and those herbs were amazing. I was out of at least 5 of the ones you sent me. Batmom sent me a giant thing of all different types of herbs that I need to make things like war water. And one of the things I sent you, I'm going to try to email you or text you what each thing is. It's a small box, but one of the things is a roller, and it's got herbs and crystals in it. I put a little fragrance in there, but what it actually is war water, and it's homemade. And I'll teach you how to use it. But I put it in a roller so you can easily, because you're supposed to draw crosses in certain places, wear it for protection to bring protection to your energy and aura. But I looked at it and I was like, why did I put this in a roller bottle? And then it dawned on me, I did it without even realizing it because it's easier. Oh my gosh, Lucum Spookum said, I bought weights and a bench a couple of days ago. There you go. That is the universe. Like, dude, don't give up. Don't give in. Don't be discouraged. Monster Radio, you got the Kraken. It's the card of mystery, and it's card number 3. I love when that happens, when you guys really get to see spirit working through me. You're so welcome, sweetheart. I think I put a fun dip in there for you too. I like to send candy. Oh, and Steven got me this awesome Alice in Wonderland dress. I don't know how to explain it, but it's pretty awesome. I'm going to wear it when the weather gets nicer. Okay, Monster Radio, card number 3, Mystery, the Kraken. It is good not to know everything. Great mysteries can fill you with wonder, and this is a very positive state. Be curious. You do not have to share everything with everyone. You can be selective about who you share the minutiae of your life with. Value your privacy. So I'm seeing right off the bat, be very careful of telling people your ideas in the next couple of weeks, okay? Someone is looking to steal your ideas. They're like, oh, wow, Monster Radio is doing really well. What are you going to do next? And then when you tell them, they turn it into their idea. Okay. Don't make people aware of your weaknesses. Don't draw attention to your fears and things like that this week. Okay. Especially this week and next week, please. Because someone is jealous. And I don't even think they realize they're jealous, but they're very jealous of you right now. In a world where we think we know all and see all, a little mystery is a good thing. It's impossible to know everything, although you would think with the advent of social media that we have indeed seen everything about everyone. In the ancient world, even in the world of a few hundred years ago, there were indeed great mysteries afoot, and many of these belonged in the deep blue sea. The Norse sailors, not just the ancient ones, but right up until the 19th century, reported sightings of a great beast of the ocean with a cephalopod shape, destroying their boats and even buildings on the shorelines of islands during great storms. This creature was referred to as the Kraken and was greatly feared because it could rise out of the deepest oceans without warning. No one knew when or where the Kraken would strike. This gigantic sea monster was the bane of sea travelers and fisherfolk from the coasts of Greenland, the North Atlantic, and right through to the Scandinavian waters. Some sailors were so afraid of it that they wouldn't even utter the word Kraken without the fear that this would indeed summon it. In the Icelandic saga Orvar Adir, it mentions the Hafgufa, which is the Kraken. It says, quote, now I will tell you that there are 2 sea monsters. One is called the Hafgufa, the sea mist, another Linkbakar, heatherback. The link bakar is the largest whale in the world, but the hafgufa is the largest monster in the sea. It is the nature of this creature to swallow men and ships, drag them down with its arms, and even whales and everything else within reach. It stays submerged for days, then rears its head and nostrils above the surface and stays that way until at least the change of the tide, end quote. The appearance of the kraken resembled a giant squid. The huge suckers and tentacles were often described, so it is thought that perhaps sightings were indeed just that, huge giant squids. Some descriptions, though, included spikes on the arms and huge teeth, so not quite what a usual giant squid would look like. The kraken reflected the unfathomable and wild nature of the sea and its unpredictability. Your plant companion is the fir tree, and your crystal companion is olivine. I love when things are synchronicitous like this, because I just happen to have a piece of olivine right here. It's a small piece. It was a gift from Nutslap, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. If you could see it, when I look at it, it looks like just a blob of brown, like through my camera, but I know when I look back, you'll be able to see it. It kind of looks like the waves of like the shore on the sand. So this is your crystal companion. So Monster Radio, don't have a fear of the unknown. Don't call attention to your weaknesses, like I said, but I feel like there's an opportunity coming in for you to really shine and thrive and show people what you can do in whatever field you're aiming at. I'm not necessarily talking about your job. So you may have your job and then like a hobby or something, but you look at it as more than a hobby and maybe want to make it your job. I don't know what this is, but I don't know. This is the specific message I'm getting. But it's like if you tell someone else your secrets or your ideas this week and next week, they're going to take them. Otherwise, if you keep them to yourself and wait for the right moment, an opportunity is going to present itself for you to put these ideas out there, and you are going to thrive and shine like you never could have even imagined at this point. Yes, Miss Pixie, you weren't here when we were talking about it. Absolutely. I will message you and send you the link through Facebook at the exact same time, and we are going to have a blast. My mom last week, and I know we're ending, but during that stream, I stopped and I was like, oh, I thought my mom was crying. She was actually laughing because she heard me, as I always say, people freak out. I actually, one of you guys that was always in here, asked me to do a kind of virtual tour of their house and tell them what was happening. And I mentioned the Galactic Federation. They got off the phone with me very quickly and never spoke to me again. It must have come up last week. My mom was not crying. She was laughing. So she said to me, what do you guys talk about on that show? It sounds so interesting. I said, come in and see. But that was really cool. Monster Radio, you are very, very welcome. Oh, that was awesome. Thanks so much, Gemma Jade. That was really accurate. My senses are keen and my shield shall be up. Yes, please. And okay. Is Infinite Psychosis getting a reading? You're muted.
Zorg.
I know Zorg, but I'm asking if Infinite Psychosis is getting a reading.
I didn't ask him. He does sometimes. He does.
I know. It's like you never know. Infinite Psychosis, if you're still here, please let us know if you want a reading or not, because you're going to be last aside from Steven. Zerg, this one's on you, baby. Well, thank you, madam. Yeah, not yet, Nutsop. Not yet. Zerg, you got Night Song. Hidden Talents. A bird singing at night is an unusual occurrence, and those birds who are known as singers of the darkness are almost always considered sacred or frightening. From the operatic nightingale through to the hooting owl, hearing a bird that you cannot see weaving its magic through the night sky has captivated humans for millennia. In the past, at Halloween time, a night that the veil between the worlds was said to be at its thinnest. I know Lara hates that. These night birds were considered either omens or messengers of the gods. Depending on the culture, their voices were perceived as good luck and a positive validation, or alternatively, a warning about continuing on a certain path. In some mythology, the night bird was able to direct us toward discovering our talents and true purpose, a kind of guide in the darkness leading us to the dawn. Should this beautiful Should this beautiful but shy bird sing to you by appearing during your divination, know that you must unwrap the present of yourself. Look, some of the gifts within you remain unopened. Time has come to step into your true potential and claim all possibilities for yourself. There's no more time to waste and no more excuses. Zerg, you could be, and this is kind of, sorry, I needed to. Good night, Deirdre, love you. So this is a little bit similar to Monster Radio's reading, which is why I always tell you guys to take whatever messages that resonate. So Zerg, this is saying that there's something that you really want to do that you've been putting off for a really long time. I don't know if it's for fear of like failure or fear of maybe success. I realized recently that I don't have a fear of failure. It's a fear of success. And that's some of the shadow work that I've been doing. You may have to look deep inside yourself and find out what's holding you back from taking this leap of faith, beginning this journey. It's a time of rebirth for you. To look inside yourself and see where do you really want to be 6 months from now, a year from now, and make reasonable and reasonable and attainable goals for yourself, and then set about achieving them. Don't worry what other people are going to think about the journey, right? People laughed at me when I started a YouTube channel, and people still are like, they say mean things about what I do for a living, but they don't understand that I'm actually thriving and I'm prospering just because I'm not financially wealthy or making any kind of real significant money. I'm still thriving and I'm still shining and I'm still accomplishing my goals because I had to consider those people, even people that I loved more than anything in the world and still do, that I had to put myself first and I had to put my spirit first and feed my soul instead of feeding their ego or, feeding their opinions about what it was I was doing. Look deep inside yourself, Zerg, and start to make those dreams a reality. Even if they seem so far-fetched, it doesn't matter because anything is possible. The law of attraction, the law of assumption. You are a co-creator of your own life with the universe, and abundance and blessing and prosperity is your birthright as a human being, but you have to look deep inside yourself. You have to take the first step forward in order to accomplish it. What's up with Infinite Psychosis?
He just came in to say hi.
Okay, I think me actually deciding to commit to changing is what is wrong. If you decided to commit to a change, then commit to it. But if it's not for you and you need to leave it behind, that's okay too. Life is trial and error. But if you committed to something that you really feel, what's the word I'm looking for? If you really feel passionate about it, do it. Do it regardless of what anyone else says, thinks, or feels, okay? That's really important. But it's okay to break a commitment and walk away. Girl, I get paid once a month unless you guys put money on my PayPal or CashApp. Once a month. Okay. Steven, and then we're going to end, guys. Oh, Pine Island Research. Hi. Thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping in every week and giving the thumbs up and saying hello. Don't commit to a change out of fear. Word. All right, Steven. Guys, before we end, just so we can end quickly, don't forget, if you want an autographed copy of any of my 3 books, email me. If you want personals, there's information in the description box. But if you want more information, want to know what I'm about, I also, I have a lot of metaphysical products besides the sprays. All right. I have homemade bath salts, homemade war water. I have homemade crystal rollers, incense. I have offering mix. I'm thinking about trying herbal cigarettes. Guys, you name it. If it's metaphysical, I got it. Crystal packs, to balance your chakras. I have the one-on-one videos. I offer so many services and so many products that unfortunately, I don't even want to talk about the website, but unfortunately, it's just not there yet. But I do sell these things and I do try to make a living off them. So please let me know if you're interested in any of them. All right. And we'll see you tomorrow from 8 to 10 p.m., 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time for Chillax and Chat with me, Ghostdragonzw, and Miss Paranormal Pixie. And then Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time is your pre-recorded upload, More High Strangeness. All right. You got ancestors, the love and legacy of our DNA. I walk in their footsteps, their wisdom inside me remains. I am unique, yet carry a legacy. Their blood runs in my veins. Whether or not we know our ancestors, we are the product of those who have lived before us, DNA-wise. Externally, we may have the body type of our father, our mother's eyes, our grandmother's nose, our great-grandfather's skin tone, etc. On the inside, it gets even more interesting. We know now that we can inherit the way our body works, blood types, genetic disorders, even propensities for aspects of brain function like introversion, musicality, and mathematics. Many pagan paths associated with Halloween believe that we are born perfectly imperfect to be exactly what we are meant to be. What does this mean? It means that the gifts our ancestors have left us and the unique synergy of the combination of the physical, mental, and physical, probably meant emotional, that is created within us sets us up perfectly to achieve our ultimate purpose. Should the ancestor card bring itself to your attention, know that you are ready and able to action your birthright of power. You have the support of those who came before you. There may be challenges or struggles, but you have everything you need to overcome them because you will prevail. So, Stephen, this is telling you that even though you're going through a really hard time and you're struggling, you may even be having some issues that are affecting your abilities. Your ancestors are there to give you what you're lacking, but you have to pay attention to them. Okay. I feel like you're focused so much, and rightfully so, on the human stuff. You know, what happened to your house, taking care of your dad, making all these phone calls, running this one to the doctor. How is your son doing? Me, you know, RJ, your main focus is in life, you know, family, Puff. But the universe is saying that if you would stop and give yourself a little time for yourself, if Stephen would take 12 to 15 minutes a day just for Stephen, okay, or when you're doing your Tai Chi, keep doing that and pay really close attention, because your ancestors are trying to get your attention about something. They're trying to lead you down a path that's going to much quicker bring you through all of this turmoil, but you're not focused enough to see it or hear it right now. So they're calling out to you through this card like, hey, pay more attention, get more focused, take more time for you, and you will get the answers that you're looking for, whether or not you even know that you're looking for them. Jeff, thank you for coming in. All of you guys, thank you so much for hanging out, for getting readings, for donating your time, your energy, right? Those are really important too. And I just really adore you guys. I really, really do. I hope you'll come and hang out with us tomorrow night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Chillax and chat with myself, Stephen, Ghost Dragons, and Miss Lara, Paranormal Pixie. Check out the description box. Come back and leave a comment. Help me out with the algorithm. Share out if you know anyone that would like this type of live stream. And I'm going to go have some chocolate strawberry shortcake.